Right. And let's go ahead and get to other places I need to be. Get everything all set up. Yeah, there we go. Now just spread the word on Discord. No, thank you. Alright, got that. Just need to get everything all set up here. And there we go. Right, did what I could with that. So now it's time to also cover the other stuff as well. It's been a while since I've had to do some of this stuff here. I believe that was right. I can always deal with it when needed. And just getting everything set up here. And it took me a little longer to get to this tonight, but that is primarily due to the fact that I had to deal with a situation as far as my test one was concerned, because I did not... This is not blind. This is not being done blind. Alright. There we go. Get that taken care of. Yes, guess we're all good now. So it looks like everything's all set for departure. So yeah, like I said, it took a little longer for me to get on the air tonight, but that's primarily because in doing my test run with Mathia, I had run into an issue, and it took me a few tries to figure it out, but ultimately I did. So tonight, we are now finally getting into new main story content. And so, tonight we officially launch patch 4.1 of this game. Hey there Mira, and 10-Minute Wayne, it's been a while, but it's good to see you again. So, greetings people of the world, Matthew back with you here at Novaura Autism for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood Live. We're here in Ralgard's Reach with our Warrior of Light Corinne Loren, who for the duration of the month of October will be sporting a pink hair color to support October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I'd like to do this little PA service to people to kind of help out the cause in my own little way. So Mathia has his own take on the pink hair. He's got pink hair highlights in his hair instead of white. But Corinne's got going all pink for this particular 4.1 main story, so speaking of it, let's make our way now over to the main tent, which serves as the base of the Ala Amigo resistance here at Rolgar's Reach. And as you can see, there's already a lot of people who are willing to line up to help out Miss Lise, who has now been given the reins to deal with the situation here for what will be the future for the people of Ala Amigo. Let's go ahead and speak with her for our first patch 4.1 main story quest entitled Ehrenwald's Adventure. Lise seems troubled.
Come to see how we're getting on?
Oh yeah. It has been since June and July.
We've made good progress since we took back Ala Amigo, but there's one big issue we still have to address.
And what's that?
Leadership. The Domans had Lord Hien ready and willing to take the throne, but we've got no one like that here.
Well, you've kind of been thrust into leadership.
Theodoric was our last ruler, and he wasn't called the Mad King for nothing.
Suffice it to say, our people have had their fill of kings, which means we need to find a new way forward.
If only it were that easy. Everyone and his uncle has an opinion.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Yeah, like
for the
sad
time
face.
being, we're just going to have to keep leaning on General Aldin and the Alliance for support, and see if we can't find a solution together. Something tells me we're going to be hosting a lot of meetings in the near future.
Oh, I believe it.
But if that's what it takes, I'm ready to talk till my jaw aches.
That's the spirit.
The Reach is yours, Nago. Don't do anything I wouldn't.
Aye, aye, Commander.
I guess she's on her way to do what needs to be done. And so shall we.
There you are. I've been searching all over for you.
Oh, what's up, Ehrenwald?
Don't worry, it's nothing bad. That said, this might not be the best place to talk. Will you join me?
What's up? What's on your mind there, Ehrenwald?
I'll get to the point. Might you be interested in a spot of adventure?
Well, given the title of this particular quest, sure.
After all, we were adventurers before we were scions, were we not?
Indeed.
After routing the Imperials and liberating Ala Amigo, I reckon we've earned a bit of respite, don't you? And what better way to spend it than by returning to our roots?
Sounds fair.
So, what say you? Shall we call on Alphino and go adventuring?
Why do we have to drag him into this? What do you say? Twist my arm, why don't you? Or, it's what we do, I suppose. Yeah, it's what we do, I suppose. With a smirk on her face, no less. And so we officially accept this first quest of Patch 4.1 main story. And surprisingly, it has nothing to do with dealing with Ala Amigo's problems. So, what's going on here, Ehrenwald? What's this adventure about? Right then, let's go and find Master Leveilleur. Actually, leave that to me. I want you fresh for our little adventure. Wait for us by the Aetheryte and I'll be along shortly. See you there. And so yeah, this quest ends rather quickly actually. Hey Yami, good to see you this evening, glad to have you with us. Sorry about what's going on with you not being able to download the patch successfully. I can tell you though that we have secured our new home. So we do have that now, and I'll be showing that off at the end of tonight's stream. So yeah, you guys will get a little bit extra goodness when this is all said and done. But as it stands right now, we need to go and find our friends. Or more specifically, we need to wait here for them. So now we just bide our time waiting for the boys to arrive. So now that the fog has rolled in, gentlemen. Greetings, Kryn. 'Twould seem we are to accompany Arnvold on some manner of escapade. Have you any idea what we've gotten ourselves into? Not yet. Allow me to explain. It'll be something of a history lesson, but I'll try to be brief. No snoring, if you please. Now, the events I will speak of occurred before the occupation, back when Alamiga was still a monarchy and Theodoric sought the throne. A uniquely brutal despot by all accounts. That he was. The King of Ruin suffered no rivals, real or imagined, and his dispute with the monks of the Fist ended with Rhaegar's Reach being burnt to the ground. In the latter years of his rule, he was seized by the unshakable belief that unseen forces were conspiring to steal his crown, and so he ordered that every soul with a claim to the throne be executed, including his own family. Ouch. The wealth of the poor sods he put to death became the property of the king, and it's said that these royal treasures were hoarded somewhere in the palace. Thus was born the legend of the Mad King's Trove. Ah, I believe I see the direction our adventure is to take. I assume you have a mind to unearth this hidden bounty? You assume correctly, he says as he pumps his fist. And would I also be correct in assuming that this legend is widely known? Others must have surely gone in search of your prize, tempting as it seems. Well, of course we won't be the first to make the attempt. Following Alamigo's liberation, more than a few eager soldiers turned the palace upside down in the hopes of claiming an easy fortune. But even after scouring every room from dawn till dusk, they uncovered not a single coin. Their gold lust drained away as quickly as it had come, and the legend of the Mad King's Trove remains simply that. A legend. But I see you have no intention of letting the story end there. Of course not. What self-respecting adventurer would? Imagine the three of us delving into a decades-old mystery. Tell me the thought doesn't set your heart to racing. Yeah, I'm in it for the long haul with you guys. You can count on me. Yeah, they can't wait to get started. So, with our 752 gil plus another new emote, the box emote. I really don't know what this is going to be, but we'll find out soon enough. Also, since we're now into the new main story content, I will be regaling you guys at the end of every quest with this. Stand strong and unified. So, you have learned the emote box. Oh, well done on getting the cloud outfit there, Mira. Yeah, let's find out what this emote is. Imagine it's not at the bottom of the list. Oh, we can also now converse as well as an emote. So, yeah, this is how... yeah, this is how we converse. Yeah, you speak to no one in particular. Where's that box emote? Okay, it's in persistent. Yeah, all of a sudden I think I'm Lise. Yeah, come on! But of course, being the warrior of light that I am, I much prefer fighting with my lance. So, why do you say we move on to our next story quest with Alpha Node, entitled The Darkness Below. You can almost see the wheels turning in Alpha Node's head. The news of Doma and Alamigo's liberation has kindled the flames of revolution in every corner of the Empire. I hear the Imperial province of Dalmasca has already risen up in rebellion. Which means the Guardians must surely have their hands full. What better time than now to indulge in such a diversion? Tell us, Arnvold, have we any clues as to where we might begin our search? Well, judging by how the other treasure hunters fare, nosing about the palace isn't like to get us anywhere, so we'll probably need to, ask around. Will that be another way of saying no? Yes. I see. In that case, I shall pay a visit to the Allied archivists and request access to the records seized from the Imperials. The Garleans are meticulous about such things. If they uncover the trove during their occupation, the event is certain to have been recorded. In the meantime, the two of you can track down those who worked as palace servants and officials in Theodoric's day. Given that they would have been at least 20 at the time, you will be looking for any people who have seen 40 summers or more. Anything that they can tell you about the king and his bloody deeds may prove useful, so be sure to listen well. Armvold, pray try your luck in the fringes and the peaks whilst Corinne makes rounds in the Alamegan quarter. Why do I get such a small path? But whatever. And there was thinking I was the party leader. Not that I mind, of course. Let's be about it, eh? We can meet afterwards at Gilbard's Gate. Yeah, people are putting on a light show for us. We gotta make our way now to the Alamegan quarter as requested. Well, that's understandable there, Mira, because of the fact that everyone and their mother was trying to get a house in Shirogane today. So yeah, let's go around looking for 3 people who might be able to help us. Also, now that we're in patch 4.1's main story, the music for the Alamegan quarter has now actually changed. It's no longer the same music that is also used across the remainder of the locks. It now has the village music that is now used in all the other villages in Girabanya. Alright there, Highlander, what do you know? In the palace? No, not me, lass. Surely you've heard stories of the Mad King. He used to hold public executions up until on the Divine Audience. Anyone, and I mean anyone, suspected of conspiring against the crown was flung from the top of those steps. Suffice it to say that I stayed as far away from the palace as possible. Oh, that's unfortunate. Maybe we'll have better luck going this way. By speaking with this mature maid. Hello there. You want to hear an old maid's stories, do you? Aye, well, most of what I know of the Mad King is common knowledge. We'd only see His Royal Majesty when he deigned to attend the executions he'd ordered, and after a while even watching his enemies die wasn't enough to coax him out of hiding. They say he started seeing assassins in every shadow and wouldn't set foot outside the palace walls. I was offered work there as a royal servant once, but the mere thought of it left me in a cold sweat. That bad, huh? Well, maybe our third person of interest can provide us with requisite information. To get to him, though, we're going to need to go a little bit further than usual. Now, I've tried landing on that spot where you can do the lookout emote, but I have no idea how to land on it properly that I can dismount from my horse and be able to do lookout there to get experience points. Because if I could, that would be great. So finally, we're speaking with this retired Rogadin, alongside a fellow Dragoon, no less. Hello there, sir. Aye, I served at the pleasure of King Theodoric and lived to tell the tale. One of the palace guards I was. Truth be told, it was a dark chapter in my life and one I'd sooner forget. Hardly a night went by when we didn't hear blood-curdling screams echoing from the inner chambers, which, of course, we were under orders to ignore. So we'd stand still as statues, trying not to imagine what horrors were unfolding within. If you're hell's-bent on finding out what happened in the palace, head down the street here and ask old Arnold. He was the king's head scribe. It seems I'm like running into a lot of brothers and sister Dragoons along the way tonight with Corinne. Yeah, they're everywhere. Hey there, Arnold. Or can I call you Arnold? How do you go by? Yes, I'm Arnold. What do you want with me? Well, we want this from you. You would have me dredge up some decidedly unsavory memories. Yet if our amigos to move forward, we must needs acknowledge the misdeeds of the past. Very well, I shall tell you what I remember. I take it you know of Theodoric's paranoia and the public executions of his kinsmen. Those were terrible enough, but in his last days, the king's fevered mind settled upon an even grislier method of disposal, which only a chosen few were unfortunate enough to witness. His Majesty ordered the court thaumaturge to unleash a vile curse upon the remaining members of the royal family, a magic which transformed them into fiends of hideous aspect. The resulting monstrosities were then cast into the darkness below the palace. Even now my sleep is troubled by nightmares. If others of Theodoric's blood were prone to share his madness, they may hap it is the kindness that the monarchy ended with him. Pretty unfortunate, isn't it? Hey Winter, good to see you this evening. Glad to have you with us. So, back over this way. So, gotta get over to right around this corner, and around this one. And we'll find Ehrenwald among this throng of humanity here. Hey, big man. Well, that's because everyone's doing the new story content there, Winter. Since we're all here, why don't we share what we've learned? Alright. Allow me to begin then. As promised, I scoured the Imperial records for any mention of fantastic treasures, and found precisely none. It is just possible, I suppose, that a corrupt official deliberately hid the fact of the trove's discovery, hoping to enrich himself. But I find it rather unlikely that so valuable a find would stay secret for long. I conclude that our prize either does not exist, or that the Imperials somehow overlooked it. But what of you, Corinne? Were your investigations any more fruitful? Well, here's what I did learn. Turned into monsters? And what could it mean by this darkness beneath the palace, I wonder? I met an old man in Alagiri who spoke of the palace's subterranean prison, but he said naught of cursed abominations. The Imperial archives were also silent on the subject of fiends inside the palace grounds. Could this scribe fellow have been spinning her a yarn, do you think? Do you believe him, Corinne? Yeah. Do you believe Arnold's tale? His fears seem genuine, or he may have been lying. I believe his fears seem genuine. If he was afraid, that does lend credence to the tale, though I'm not sure how that helps us in our search. Do not be so hasty. Arnold's anecdote may very well have told us where the trove is hidden, but ere I share my theory, there is a matter I will clarify. Arnold, you spoke of light-hearted adventure, but I sense a deeper motive for this expedition. Why are you so intent on finding this treasure? Sully music stops. It wasn't all pretense, I swear it, but you're right. My father was in the Imperial Army, a man of Gallian blood. I trust you know what I mean when I say that my Alamegan mother did not welcome my arrival. Oh, forced her into pregnancy? As I grew, she would check my brow over and over, convinced that a spot on my skin was an emerging third eye, like the kind you see in pure-blood Gallians. My mother did not care for this haunting reminder of my heritage and took up a knife. Ouch. War paint serves to cover the scar. And Sally, he's in no hurry to show us. In the end, she turned me out into the street and I was left to haunt the alleyways of Alamigo, a feral child who got what he needed through begging, conning, or worse. The best I can say about the years that followed is that I survived, but I hated the animal I'd become. Eventually I left the city behind me and joined a group of refugees down from the other side of the wall. It was then that I turned to adventuring, and that road led me into the company of the Scions. And that's where he met Nymphilia, and the rest is history. I'll tell you this so that you understand. I know all too well what poverty and hunger can do to a person. Especially someone of your size. I drew steel on ordinary folk for measly crust of bread. With Theodoric's gold, I could spare my countrymen the shame of living like that. And we approve. Thank you, Arnvold, and I apologize. That cannot have been pleasant to recall, but I felt it best to be clear in our intentions. Well, Corinne, are you content to surrender the treasure to Arnvold's noble cause, and claim the thrill of adventure as your reward? I guess so. Then I should be glad to tell you my theory on the resting place of the Mad King's Trove, if you are minded to hear it. I believe so, so let's take a 1,062 gold plus choice of food. As much as I want the jerked Jamel, I'd rather go for a crit hit, so we'll take the Miso Dengaku instead. Stand strong and unified! So, with that quest now completed, we now switch over to Alpha Node, who's blocked out by a suit of Magitech armor. Let's take on our next main story challenge entitled The Mad King's Trove. Alpha Node seems eager to share his theory. Actually, mayhap it would be better if we first adjourned to a more suitable location. In case the rival treasure hunter overhears our plans, you mean? Good thinking. That was not exactly the reason, but is certainly a valid concern. Let us reconvene on the southern edge of Loch Seld. Very well. The main story quest roulette? Unless you mean the main scenario roulette. Also, I should probably make it a point to leave out a proper door. Because, yeah, you can't necessarily go out of here normally. At least not as far as I know. Problem is, I need to find a door out. Okay, you'll do. Yep, going in. Oh crap, I ended up beneath the city. Uh-oh. Yeah, I believe I've taken a wrong turn. My bad. I'm gonna edit this out when we get to the actual story that I need to go. I thought old doors led out of the city. Turns out not the case. So yeah, we need to find an actual exit. Like maybe over here? Yeah, this one looks a lot better. So, yeah. Open the doors. Okay, so on a foggy evening in the locks, let's make our way to the intended destination. So yeah, this is what the locks look like under cover of darkness. And here's where our friends are. Alright, Alpha Node. Forgive me, 'twas not my intention to draw proceedings. I simply wish to have the lock in sight while I explain things. Yeah, while we're all ankle deep in salt water. Prior to the great flood of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, the salt lakes you see before you were yet dry ravines. And this, believe it or not, was the site of the ancient city of Scala, which rose and fell during the Fifth Astral Era. From what we know of the period, the city was already deserted by the time the waters began to rise, having been all but destroyed by war, yet its ruins remain to this day at the bottom of Loch Seld. It is my belief that the darkness beneath the palace, mentioned by Theodoric's former scribe, was not a reference to the prison, but to a place still further below, the ruins of Scala. I further surmise that the Mad King's unfortunate kinsmen were cast down there not simply out of a desire to punish them, but to discourage exploration. Theodoric wanted to keep the ruins secure. Wait, you're saying they were meant to guard the Mad King's Trove? Precisely, and since we know the court thaumaturge was involved, we can safely assume that any entrance into the old city will have been magically concealed. Which would explain how a legion of Imperial soldiers and the gods know how many Alamegans never found a trace of the Trove. Yeah, you don't have a scholar like Master Alpha Node. We, however, have certain advantages which they did not enjoy. Corinne, would you be so good as to swim down to the bottom of the lock and search for an underwater route into the ruins? While you do that, Arnvold and I will seek out an ensorcel portal within the palace. Alright. You two have fun. While I go swimming. I'd hate to go into salt water into my armor, but I don't have a choice. So our intended destination is this way. And we gotta go down quite a bit of a deep depth to get to where we need to go. Actually, we want to follow these snowflakes. Yeah, there are snowflakes underwater in a salt mine. Anyway, yeah, and as you can see, there are buildings here that are completely salt-crusted. Yeah, my armor is gonna rust out before I get to where I need to go. You discover a passage that appears to lead to the palace foundations. Press on and find out where it goes. Now, salt-oriented snowflakes. It's crazy, I know. But hey, we found this door and so did all these other people. It's a mad dash to find the treasure. You come to a worn stone door standing temptingly ajar. It would appear you have found an entrance into the subterranean ruins. Not only that, we're getting messages on Linkshell. Corinne, it's Alphanode. We have searched the prison beneath the palace and found a door concealed by enchantments. Have you aught to report? And you believe it leads into the ruins? Excellent. Then I propose we proceed from our respective entry points and look to meet somewhere in the middle. Oh, come on, you two. We might as well make it a race. Victory goes to the first adventurer to find the treasure. Godspeed! And with that, we now have access to the one and only new dungeon for patch 4.1, and it's in main story, the Drowned City of Scala. There is also the 24-man raid that's now being introduced also in patch 4.1, but this is the first time, as far as I know, within Final Fantasy XIV that only one new 4-player dungeon has been introduced with the patch. So yeah, I'm surprised they didn't give us a hard mode dungeon of somewhere we've been before, but maybe we'll get one in the later patch. I don't know. Where's my... There we go. Hey Skylar, good to see you this evening. Glad to have you with us. Are you still on right now? I also noticed Kuna came back. Oh, you want me to come with you? Well, I'd certainly appreciate your healing. Too bad we can't take Mitri with us. She's in the middle of attempting the new 24-man raid. I'm just waiting for my my audio clip to normalize first, as far as audio is concerned, before I let you send me in there, Skyla. You know, whenever I think of when I saw the name for this place, Drowned City of Scala, like the name Scala, it makes me think of the opera house in Milan, Italy, known as La Scala. I know it's probably not something you're familiar with, but I have heard the name before, and it's a very famous opera house in Milan. In fact, actually, a fellow student of mine, a former classmate from high school, who was a very impressive alto, a very skilled alto, was even offered a spot to go and sing at La Scala. So, yeah, she's definitely been making her way up in the world. She's actually, from what her father's told me, she's also performed opera at other places in the United States, so that's cool that she got an offer to go to La Scala. Don't know if she took up the offer or not, but it would certainly be quite an honor for her. Okay, Scott, I'm ready when you are. Go ahead and cue us for the Drowned City. Just in case you missed what I said. Yeah, I'm all ready to go. See, I was here with Matthias, of course, earlier before I went to work. And not to give anything away, but this dungeon has quickly become one of my favorites. You'll see why when we actually get in there. Hopefully Scala doesn't leave me hanging too long. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's do this. I was about to say, how ironic that we're waiting on Scala, who has the control to start the dungeon. Or the queue, whatever. And so, off to the one and only new 4-player dungeon for patch 4.1, the Drowned City of Scala. And as you can see, since we just came out of an underwater area, a lot of this stuff is going to be laden with salt water. So Scala and I, as well as a tank and another DPS, will march our way into here. Alright, so let's go ahead and be on our way. Yep, the tank's already running, so let's follow. You're scared? Take your time, tank. You can get through this. Take it nice and slow. We're in no rush. Unless we wipe a whole bunch of times, then we would be in a rush. Also, I hit the wrong button. Yeah, also as well, I noticed that I cannot see the duration of my buffs. I don't know if this is a glitch that happened, but yeah, for some reason I cannot see my buffs. Like, obviously I have my most obvious one, which is the Blood/Life of the Dragon. Plus, with the introduction of patch 4.1, you can now get Life of the Dragon, the red glow that I have on Corinne, in 3 Mirage dives instead of 4. Let's get ourselves a couple of more Nankas to fight. And we'll take to the skies a few times. Avoid your stagnant spray if we can. And do that to you. And I am close enough that I can use my Dragon Gaze, which is nice. Yeah, it is nice that they've now expedited the process for Life for the Dragon, that you get it in 3 Mirage dives as opposed to 4. And I got that up in time. So now that those Nanka are now gone, we gotta deal with these things. Which we will deal with quickly, thanks to the help from the moves that I've got. Like Mastron. Yeah, gotta change enemies quick. Gotta do it on the fly. Get you. Good. Alright, you're dead. So lava are gone. Yeah, now we gotta deal with more lava, but as you can see, the mama is not far away. In fact, I was wondering, like, why is the tank pointed to the left? That's kind of a bit weird, but hey, this is the tank. He's the leader. He can do whatever he wants. I'll leave my battle litany for when we take on Mama. I won't be able to get an astronaut in time for another use. Yeah, sadly. Okay, and you're aimed that way. Haha, gotcha. Oh yeah, the mama is now gone. But her babies are still around. Still plenty of babies. Into the air and down. So close. Maybe a little jump start to get the Astron going. And this will help things along. Oh good, got that off just in time. Go me. Alright, so off we go now. We now have mini-boss number 1 in our sights. Let's wait on Skyla. Now we gotta defeat Kelpie, who is literally a seahorse. As you can see, Kelpie here, our first mini-boss, is literally a seahorse. You also may have noticed as well, the outer perimeter is a bad zone to stand in this fight. So anything you can do to keep yourself out of that is good. Yeah, also don't bother following Kelpie into the water because, like I said, since the pink water is bad, you're just going to hurt yourself. For moves like this. Yeah, Kelpie's got a few tricks up his sleeve. Since I've only done this once, I'll need to give myself a bit of a refresher as to which moves he does have up his sleeve. Yeah, whenever you get... Oh, don't shadow! Don't shadow! Because yeah, now you... Once you get Bloody Puddle, you now have to have this orb chase you around a bit. Obviously, it's going to implode after a period of time, but don't let it implode where you're standing. Oh, and he pulled me in. Ah, damn you. Yeah, he pulled me in. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we've gotten through half his health so far. We are burning through this quickly. Have a little battle litany on me, guys. Alright, now it's 3 times targets. Gonna run over here. Now we're gonna get chased by our little orb friend. Obviously, I don't want to go too far, so was that a good idea? Probably not. Yeah, then again, I did set myself up to get knocked back. Well, we've almost got Kelpie dead here. This literal seahorse is about to get turned into a regular seahorse. Yeah, your standard run-of-the-mill. In fact, let's finish him off with a Gears Kogel. There we go. And there we go. Seahorse is dead. So all items here, as far as equipment is concerned, are going to be item level 315. But since I'm at item level 324 and have pretty much almost everything that's not... Yeah, I only have 3 items that are at item level 310. That's it. So yeah, if I do pick up any jewelry along the way, and it's intended for a Dragoon, I will definitely take advantage of it, and I will definitely equip it. And now we gotta deal with this freaky golem here, who reminds me a lot of the golems from Shining Force 2, which I, of course, played last year as a nod to David Bowie, because the lead character in Shining Force 2's default name was Bowie. And launch it. Alright. Yeah. Take your hands down, sir. Whoop! Yeah, don't do anything just yet. You can stun them. Yeah, but all told, these guys aren't too bad. They're very manageable. Alright, I'm back here to get this chest. Ooh, this is for me. I called it, did I not? Yeah, I'm the only one who has need on it, so I'm gonna get it. But I also need to get out of the way of this Lion Surge attack. Yeah, Sally hit Skyla in the face. Yeah, Skyla got hit in the face with a pair of stone spikes from these pair of Feebads. I think it's kind of funny how Skyla has a dungeon that's similar in name to her own name in real life. Obviously, I'll never see anything like that for any characters I create. Like a villain, definitely, because we saw that with Mathia. But as far as the naming of a dungeon, I do not see that happening. I should probably put on this earring real quick. I'm going to sacrifice the bonuses that came with it, but it's a small price to pay if we can make stuff happen that's good. Yeah, these Dara Sentinels, they really love to stack AoE together. I almost got killed in my run with Mathia because they were stacking their buffs because I was in the middle of a jump attack and they all conveniently did their moves at the same time. Which for a Dragoon can be insanely frustrating. In fact, I would feel that way even if it was a monk or a samurai, because they of course are also melee-based DPS. And to a lesser extent, so is the red mage. Right, let's move on. Yeah, now we got this one Feebad against a quartet of sentinels. And we gotta go the long way around in order to get everyone together. Let's see if we can't turn the tides on these guys. I'm gonna wait a little longer for an opportunity to use my Nastrond. But I'll get it, I know. Alright, build up the gauge again. Now unleash Nastrond. There we go. And another Nastron. So far so good. Now we made our way to mini-boss number 2. The old one. Yeah. Here's a stone statue that is not only sentient, but it also has a very creepy face. My tank, lead us on. Good thing you're not aiming that this way. Yeah, this guy does like his AoE. Now we also got to deal with this problem. Got to put these subservients out. And we got to do it fast before we all end up dead. Yeah, you can see it says order to self-destruct. Thankfully we stopped them all in time. And the old one even has, you can even see what he's commanding to his sentient statues. See, that was crazy, but believe me, there's more craziness to come. Yeah, we haven't even scratched the surface with this guy. Yeah, with shifting light, he's actually going to change us into Spriggans. And we now have to use our Spriggan powers to disable these subservients before we get self-destruct cast on us. So yeah, this is a wacky dungeon with even wackier bosses. And we've got a literal seahorse. We also have a stone sentient statue that can turn us into Spriggans, into little bunnies. Yeah, the old one, he definitely has a sense of humor, that much is certain. Did not quite get that off, but I might not need to. However, we do need to start immobilizing subservients again. And as you can see, they're going to start moving. So we've got to disconnect their chains. Best way to do that is to just get ahead of them. Like, while they're immobile, definitely take advantage of that, but then once they start moving, get ahead of them in order to make sure that you can get yourself back to normal again. And that's gonna do it. And the old one splits in half. And we've earned the right to go downstairs. Oh, what are you doing to accomplish that there, Yami? So yeah, we see a treasure chest over here. Obviously, we want to go and see what's inside. Oh, an amulet of slaying now. Well, the random number generator is being very generous. And of course, I'm going to need to make sure that I get appropriate buffs for these things, appropriate materia. No, I'll ask you to aim that somewhere else, please. Ooh, okay. Yeah, splash into you. Hey there, Kurobi. Good to see you this evening. Glad to have you with us. Also, I'm targeting you, apparently. I have not attempted the new version of Shinryu. Now, being a Dragoon, I could easily jump over this, but the game doesn't want me to do that. They want me to turn into one of the enemies we just killed and fly over this ravine. Yeah, one of these Zangbetos, one of these freaky owls. Yeah, they have us turning into those now in order to cross ravines. I'm sure you can see why this dungeon has quickly become one of my favorites, even though I have only done it once before, and that was earlier today. Because there is just so much fun stuff in here. I mean, turning into Spriggans and birds. Yeah, having to fight a literal seahorse. Like, this dungeon, like, if you thought that Stormblood was, and Final Fantasy XIV as a whole, was getting stale, this dungeon will change your perception. Like, if you feel like the dungeon layouts in Final Fantasy XIV are getting stale, this changes everything. Because where else can you go and turn into a flying owl? And a Spriggan. And a whole bunch of other things too. Like, can I turn back to normal now? Yeah, I was about to say, can I turn back to normal now? Yes, this is the new dungeon there, Yami. This is the new 4.1 main story dungeon. The only 4-player dungeon that was introduced for this patch. The first time ever, as far as I know, within Final Fantasy XIV, that they only introduced one new 4-player dungeon. And yeah, if you've been paying attention, I'm sure that this place is whetting your appetite. I know the reactions I was getting from Skyla and from Chelsea earlier today when they went through these dungeons. They were a bit perplexed by what they were seeing, but they also enjoyed what they saw too. Okay, one last line of defense. Hey, where do you think you're going? Come back here. Come back, I say. Whoop, look it. Well, if nothing else, you helped me to get masked on, so thank you. Yeah, you kind of did me a solid there, guys. Thanks for that AoE forcing me to move around. And apparently we're going after the idol first. He's the one who's going to die before these rotting royals. Who also happen to be sporting the Venom look. Yeah, take this. One more to go. I'm going to hold the blood for blood until we're actually at the boss duel. Alright, with him down, we now have deactivated this force field, opened the doors, and found this Chimera as our final boss. Yeah, he's gonna be a raging torrent of fun. Yeah, let's go inside. So yeah, everyone but Skyla had been here before, or not been here before. I mean, technically I have been here before with Mathia, but you get the idea. Alright, here we go, dealing with Herodin's Poison Tongue. This crazy, creepy Chimera who serves as our final boss. There we go. And as you can see, he's going to raise his tail. When you see that message, get out of the way or you will be smacked in the face and take a debuff. He also likes to do moves like this, which will force you to run to the outside to try and take as little damage as possible. Get there? Okay, it counts. And then he'll do fancy stuff like this. But then turn around for Eye of the Fire, because if you don't, that will put confusion on you. Even has a little bit of Sri Lakshmi in him. Yeah, that's a mech also used by Sri Lakshmi. Oh, gotta get step out of the way for this attack. Because yeah, he's charging his laser. And looks like he still is. In fact, he's charging a lot of lasers. Like, do something original, man. Yeah, and look how crazy this gets. Thankfully, it is not all-encompassing as that ring, so if you can't jump in, then don't. Thankfully, I was out of the way of that. Oh, gotta run. It's fun, but I gotta run. still need more time to come up in order to make use of my Mastrond. Alright, here we go. Oh, this is gonna get hectic. At least I can hit you from far. Yeah, this time they'll come towards me, but I gotta turn around. Else I'll get my ass confused. But so far we're doing a pretty good job. We've already got him down to a third of his health. I can reach that far. Yeah, sometimes with the Dragon Gaze you just never know if you're close enough to be able to be on the receiving end of being to have a mutual benefit, but yeah, I didn't move fast enough in order to escape, so I got nailed. Yeah, this is tight quarters. Man, he's just so much fun. Yeah, charging his laser again. Going in for the kill. With the double limit break. Oh, this is gonna be awkward. Thank you for moving. We should have this soon. There it is. This Chimera is defeated. But as we discover, yeah, he is being controlled by someone who is now dead. And now vanishes into a glimmer of light. And yeah, no victory pose here. We can only show sadness for someone who got cursed by King Theodoric and used his power to turn that guy into a freaking Chimera. I think the tank held their own quite well for their debut, so I think they deserve the commendation for this battle. And Skyla got it. Skyla gets the last piece of treasure, so time for us to move on. So yeah, there is the 1 4-player dungeon for patch 4.1. It was just one, but they certainly put a lot of love and care into that dungeon, did Square Enix, to give us that impressive of a dungeon. That was certainly enjoyable. So, having defeated the Chimera, yeah, a hole appears, as do these two boys.
Are you all right?
Pull yourself together.
Aye, everything's still attached.
Hey guys, beat you to it.
It seems both our paths led here. Very good.
Indeed it did.
We spent altogether too much time fleeing fiends horrid and numerous. How fared you?
Yeah, you were fleeing, I was fighting. Allow me to explain it to you. In detail.
Much the same, then. 'Twould appear this place is yet inhabited by King Theodoric's kin, or what is left of them. The work of terrible magics, I fear.
Indeed it was.
Terrible, aye. But their misfortune is our fortune?
Quite. By the 12, there is even more than I imagined.
Also, you may have noticed the portrait up there. That's actually King Theodoric. But yeah, we certainly found ourselves quite a treasure. Yeah, there's the picture of him. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see the look on Lisa's face. Thanks for believing in me, you two.
Glad we can help there, Arnvald. Victory is ours. So yeah, let's get on out of here. And we find ourselves back in the Alamegan Quarter, and we'll reconvene with Alphinaud to complete this challenge. Arnvald and I forged ahead at the fastest pace we could manage, but I was not surprised to find you waiting for us. I suppose it serves us right for challenging the Warrior of Light. Next time we should agree on some manner of handicap. Well, it would also help if you attune yourself to Aetherites. Aye, we may have lost Alphenode, but think what we have found! Indeed you have. Quite. I am still reeling at the sight of that mountain of riches. What, like how you reeled in at the sight of that floating spectre, you mean? You should have heard him scream, Corinne. Must we dwell on such momentary lapses? We found the Night King's trove, and that is all that matters. And so, we've completed the dungeon and get the 4,325 gil reward. Yeah, it's obviously not that much compared to the treasure we found, but it's worth it. Stand strong and unified! So yeah, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the patch 4.1 main story dungeon. Quite impressive to be sure, but maybe not as impressive as this armor. Like, who are you and where did you get this from? Piece of 2 brand. You are a paladin. And you belong to a free company that was founded earlier this year. But yeah, holy cow, dude. Oh wow, I haven't seen one of those in forever. An imitation Mistbeard mask. Like, that is one of the rarest gear items you can find. In fact, I don't even know if you can still get it normally. So the fact that he got it along with this insane suit of armor, like it's just regular glamored armor, but even then, holy cow. Like that's someone who definitely put a lot of time and effort and thought into what they wanted their character's glamour to look like. That's crazy. Alright, so looks like everything's normalized, so I'm gonna say we continue on. Yeah, you can certainly find the armor. It's available through vendors in Idleshire, but good luck on finding that mask there, Yami. I doubt you'll be able to find one, and even if you do, it's not going to be cheap. So now that we have successfully cleared the dungeon, let's now continue on with the main story. Let's speak with Arenvald for our next challenge entitled The Butcher's Blood. Arenvald is still grinning at Alphinode's discomfort. All jesting aside, we must tell the people the good news, and I think Lise should be the first. Seconded, there's to be a meeting representatives from across San Amigo, so she is sure to be in the city. Shall we seek her out? Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep these two in frame together when I've kind of stepped in between the two of them. Anyway, let's go find where Lise is. And weaving our way through the city's various buildings. She's gonna be over around here somewhere. Right, here she is. Hey there, Lise. It's been a while. So after talking with a member of the Resistance. Hello again. Oh, you three look pleased with yourselves. What have you been up to? I'm glad you asked, Lise, and I'm pretty sure you're going to like the answer. Yeah, let us tell you about it. You're joking! The Mad King's trove? I thought it was a myth. So did plenty of people, but they didn't have Corinne and Alphenode in their party. The credit for finding it should really go to them. As for what to do with it all, I vote that it go towards alleviating the suffering of all Amigos pool. Gods, if there's as much as you say... Arenvald did not exaggerate, I assure you. We cannot hope to carry even a fraction of it out on our own. I have taken the liberty of sketching out a rough map of the ruins. If you will assemble a squad of your most trusted freedom fighters, they should be able to follow the route to where the treasure lies. Understood. I'll make sure every coin is accounted for, and that goes for the spending of it as well. Thank you. Oh, and there's one other thing. When the time comes to drop the plan for distributing the spoils, I would ask that you consult Arthur. I don't have a head for details. I'm not educated. I see that simply handing out sacks of gear won't solve anything, but I couldn't rightly tell you what to do instead. Oh, I know the feeling. I welcome any advice you could give us, Arthur. Of course, I shall be at your disposal. Commander, we've got a problem! Yeah, as we discussed the spoils, now we've got something wrong. Deep breaths, tell me what happened. Our mobs gathered outside headquarters and they started making demands. You best come and see for yourself. Uh-oh. While we're going there, I should point out, and I'll make sure to link this in a video once I get the stream edited. Oh, we gotta go directly to there. I'll explain after this cutscene is all done.
Step back, all of you!
Yeah, what's the deal?
Like hells we will! We know who you've got in there!
We're not leaving till you hand her over!
Who are they talking about?
Bring her out! Bring her out!
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on?
That's what I said.
Someone let slip about Fedorla.
Oh, so that's where she ended up.
It's true then! The bitch really is in there! I knew it! I bloody knew it!
I guess you let it slip too there, Monago.
We demand vengeance! Bring her out! Today we butcher the butcher!
Come on, you don't mean that! We'd be no better than the Imperials if you'd all just calm down!
Calm down! That monster and her thrice damned skulls dragged my man from our home and beat him to death in the street!
Yeah, you can tell these people are going nowhere.
Aye! And my dad! That bitch has spilt enough blood to fill a lock!
We all know her crimes. She's a traitor and a murderer. How many of your resistance friends have died at her hands, eh? And here you are, protecting her!
We're not protecting her, she's just in jail.
So that's what all the fuss is about.
Yeah. We have someone to come to our rescue. Surely they'll listen to this guy.
To me, brothers and sisters of Alamigo.
Hey, who's this?
You should well know who this is.
That's the Bull of Alamigo.
You got that right.
My friends, you are not alone in your anger, your grief, your despair, for it is mine as well. That gnawing pain in your breast, it is enough to bring an old bull to his knees. But I ask you, brothers and sisters, to think not only of the family and friends who were cut down before your very eyes, but to think also of the ones who were abducted, the ones who may yet live. Where were they taken? What became of them? These questions demand answers.
Indeed they do. But will they listen to you?
I share your thirst for justice, for vengeance.
I mean, as you can see, there are a couple of people over there who don't seem to give a damn about what's going on over here.
But we will gain only fleeting satisfaction if we give in to our base appetites. We will never know the truth. Now is the time that we, the people of Alamigo, must decide what manner of nation we will build for ourselves, and for generations yet unborn. When they look to our example, will they see a people who held fast to their principles, or one who cast them aside when tried?
They certainly seem to be the latter right now.
It is our responsibility to give these prisoners a fair trial, that they might answer to all of Alamigo. The Garleans called us savages, and I'll be damned if we prove them right.
Well, what say you people? Well, at least he got them to calm down and they even applaud him.
I know you're right, I do. But I can't.
You know, like, I can't give in to my thirst for vengeance. What do you do if he Brabant steps right into your face? It's like, damn you! Why did you have to show up? Yeah, get on out of here! We'll deal with the butcher. Also, Yami, I would probably just suggest uninstalling the game and just reinstall it. It may take you a few hours, but I don't think you have much of a choice. Okay, Lise. Now that we've sent the crowd away... My thanks, Rabon. Listening to their anger, I could feel myself being swept away. 'Tis a difficult time to stem. 'Twas that same rage which brought us to our feet and carried us to victory. But now the war is over, and all the unspent fury is being channeled into vengeance. Aye, and it's not just here. We've reports of mobs forming all over. They've been targeting folk known to have cooperated with the Guardians. It starts with insults most often, then someone picks up a stone. Some industrious souls even thought to seek out the graves of Xenos and his officers. It was grim. I want to build a country where everyone, regardless of race or origin, can live side by side in peace. But maybe the time isn't right. Maybe people just aren't ready. You sure you want to give into that line of thinking? But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. The representatives will be here soon, and I'll be damned if I'm going to give up before I've even begun. Who are these representatives exactly? Oh, village elders, refugee leaders and the like. It wouldn't be right for us to dictate the nation's future on our own, so we've planned a summit of sorts. We've even invited the Ananta and the Kakiran to participate. Alamigo stands at a crossroads, and this meeting will decide which path it takes. The matter of Fordola's sentence cannot be suffered to disrupt proceedings. Then let's execute her and be done with it. She herself asked to be put to death. Nago, I already explained why we wouldn't do that. Sending her to the gallows might satisfy people right now, but where would it end? Should we round up everyone who collaborated? And everyone who didn't resist? There'll be no one left, and we'd be no better than Theodoric or Xenos. Yeah, come on, kitty. Pull yourself together. So what are we thinking about? Begging your pardon, but might I be allowed to speak with Fordola? Only I caught a glimpse of her past. A moment of it anyway during the fight. She's done terrible things, aye, unforgivable things. But in some ways, she's a victim of the circumstances in which she was born, and that's something I can understand. Alright, speak with the prison guard when you're ready and I'll come and join you. I want to talk to her too. I'll return to my other duties then. We've barely begun to investigate the facility where they gave Forzola her powers. Be fairly warm, friends. She will test you. Don't let your emotions color your judgment when she does. Yeah, shall we march on in? So yeah, as I was saying, I was going to mention this, but Lisa's dress, as of course she's become known for in Stormblood, was actually, I recently saw in a Runaway Guys video where they were doing their Throne Controllers game show that they do at all the conventions they attend. One of the contestants, in fact the first contestant, was actually cosplaying as Lise wearing this outfit. So, yeah, and that con only happened a few weeks after Stormblood started, so the person who put this all together definitely did not waste any time in making a good effort to replicate this look. Yeah, I thought I'd point that out there, so now that we have, let's speak with this guard. You the commander's permission to enter then? Yeah, we're going in. let's go on inside and find where Fordola's cell is. In fact, it looks like it's right here. Yeah, we've got visitors. And there she is. Or what's left of her. Hey, you.
Well, well, well. So many visitors. Come to have a good laugh, have you?
Why would we do that?
Or do you mean to put me out of my misery? To finish what you started? It's about bloody time.
Actually, that's not why we're here.
That's not why we're here, no. Do you remember what I said? How I promised you you'd live long enough to see us win our freedom? Well, I meant it. And not to mock you either.
You're wasting your time.
Then we'll waste it.
All of this is pointless. There's no reason to keep me alive, and you know it. I killed your men. I killed my men. And you know what my only regret is? That I didn't kill you when I had the chance!
Well, she's certainly still lacking
That's a lie,
remorse.
and you know it. You think we can't tell what you're trying to do? That we're blind? Yeah, you're a fool, but you're not stupid. You're ruthless. Relentless. You'd give up anything and everything to get what you want.
Exactly.
You didn't come this far, climbing over the bodies of your own brothers and sisters just to piss it all away. I see you, Fordola. I see you for what you are.
And now, so will we, because, yeah, echo time! For the first time in a while. So yeah, back when Ala Mhigo was still under occupation, you see a young Fordola gazing up into the heavens, and specifically at the flag of the Guardian Empire.
Fordola. We mustn't be late. The Imperial Viceroy will be attending today's banquet.
Yeah, and off in the distance are her parents.
All right.
Yeah, she couldn't be happier to go with her family.
Father, what's Lord like? Is he nice? Are you friends?
There you go again with all your questions. Lord Gaius is a great and honourable man who looks after all of Ala Mhigo. He's very busy, and if we don't hurry, we'll miss our chance to see him.
Yeah, as you can see, they already surrendered to the Guardians and pledged their allegiance. So away they go. Yeah.
Filthy tin-head lovers.
Yeah. Malcontent? Said that for a reason. Also, do you see what's on her father's face?
Father, what did that man call us?
Do you really want to know?
The little tin-head lover doesn't know what she is, eh? A traitor, sweetheart. A backstabbing bitch who'd gladly betray her kith and kin to gnaw on what few scraps the Imperials deign to toss her. Like your bastard father and whore mother.
Them's fighting words.
That's not true! My parents are good people! They've never done anything like that!
Yeah, you made the poor girl cry. And run away.
Oh, but they were quick to help themselves and their bitch spawn, weren't they? You're just as guilty as them.
Yes, off she runs into a public square, where she's receiving something that she doesn't want to see. Yeah, people are throwing stones at her. So her father steps up and tries to shield her.
Please, you have to do something. My husband and daughter are in danger.
Yeah, you like that, wouldn't you?
Soldiers of the Imperial Army are under no obligation to intervene in the disputes of Arn.
Yeah, pretty much. They do what they want, as always.
We're citizens. We have rights.
Do you really? You have the right to get beaten to a bloody pulp.
Father, I'm scared.
It's all right. It's all right. They don't understand, but they'll see in time. They'll see that this is the only way to survive.
Traitors!
Where do they find all these stones anyway?
Traitors!
But then, someone picks up a big one. And beams Daddy right between the eyes.
Let the savages have their fun. They'll be more compliant once they've tired themselves out.
That's how they think around in Garlemald. Let them beat the shit out of each other, then they're much easier to take advantage of. Yeah, the swordsman just stands there and can't help do anything. Can't do a damn thing. So, a few years later,
Vidola, please. You already have citizenship. Why would you want to become a soldier?
good question. Now she's got a new look.
Oh, gods. What have you done to your face?
You don't approve?
Forgotten it already, have you? I'm honouring Father's memory.
By telling the world that you know better than a common savage.
Ouch.
Am I though, Mother? Are any of us? Can't you see? Citizenship means nothing to them. If you're not a pure-blood Garlean, you're no different from any other savage.
At least she realizes it.
I'll join the Legion and I'll make them respect me. And when the mob see that, they'll think twice before throwing their stones. Ansfrid, Rudolph, Emlyn. It's time.
Yeah. It's a one-time only reference that you probably only saw late in the main story, but those are three people that she mentioned before who died, and yet, yeah, in her memories, these are her friends.
It'll be hard. Humiliating. They'll try to break us. Send us crawling back to our own kind. But we won't, no matter what. We'll bleed for them, die for them if we have to. We'll do whatever it takes to be free!
And so, based on that logic, they make their pact. It's not in blood, but it's a pact nonetheless. And her mama is completely beside herself. So off they go to join the Imperial Army. And that's where this echo painfully ends. Yeah, Arnvald's still talking to her the whole time.
So, you mean to play the part one last time, eh? The unrepentant traitor whose death will serve to unite the people?
Shut up.
You had every chance to kill yourself. Fashion a noose from your clothes. Wait for the guards to leave you alone long enough to slip it over your neck.
I said shut up!
It's not our
all
fault.
been for nothing, wouldn't it? Whatever it takes. That's what you said.
Yeah, what are you looking at?
Been in my head, have you? Had a little peek at my past?
Yeah, I did.
And what? A few stolen memories tell you everything you need to know, do they?
More or less.
Don't you dare patronize me! You don't know a god's damned thing about the life I've led! The bastards that killed him. The bastards that let it happen. My father deserved better! I swore I'd do whatever it took to make them pay!
Even if it meant being one of them? Oh, and she's losing her mind. In fact, specifically, she's losing her mind so much she can see what I'm done. Including killing Xenos. Actually, I didn't quite kill him. He took his own life. But I did beat him senseless, though.
You. All that power. All that pain. It's too much. Too much for anyone.
I'd like to think that won you.
The things they've done to you. The lies. The betrayal. The endless fighting. Yet there you stand. Unbroken. How? Why?
Yeah, we got an answer to her. You know why. You saw. For those I've lost, for those I can yet save, or because I chose to, damn it. Well, you know why. You saw everything, did you not? You saw what I've had to endure.
Damn you. Damn you all.
And she'll actually react this way no matter which choice you select.
You still have time, Fordola. Think about how you want to spend it. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's not turn our back to her just in case she decides to attempt a prison break. Apparently that's what we're gonna do. Make sure to lock that door tight. And so now she gets to wallow again. So, now that we've had our chat with her, we got our 1,1189 gil, and we also get a brand new orchestrion roll. The measure of our reach orchestrion roll. And yeah, it says on the description there, the Garlean Anthem. Yeah. That was, of course, seen in an earlier cutscene very early on in this storyline. But, of course, that line is now changed. Stand strong and unified. Yeah, there you go. That's what's become of Miss Fordola. She's still trying to deal with more stuff that she can handle right now. But yeah, here's what I want to know. Why would they give us the Garlean National Anthem? Or in this case, the Territorial Anthem. Plus, I also got this Triple Triad card. It would be a shame for me to not use it. I think I have the siren card already used. Yeah. So yeah, I don't need this. Alright. There's something I do want to check on though before I continue on. That's my HUD layout. So that's info enhancements. Yeah, I don't know why they hid that on me. Also, in a few moments I think I want down. I think that's fine. Alright. So, with night having fallen here in Alamigo, let's go ahead and speak with Lise for our next main story quest, entitled Echoes of an Echo. Lise is lost in thought. I don't know that we've solved anything exactly, but we've given Fordola something to think about at least. Aye, and I've found something new to think about too. I don't know about you, Quinn, but the visions only come to me every now and then. The way Fordola kept wincing though, I get the feeling she's having them almost all the time. That's a lot of bad memories to deal with. I wonder, couldn't there be some fundamental difference between one who's born with the Echo and one who's been artificially imbued with it? Well, the immortal flames have been scouring that research facility ever since Liberation. There's a chance they might have some answers for us. General Alden's there overseeing the investigation. Let's go and pay him a visit, shall we? Alright, let's go to the Resonatorium. This is where their chief scientist, Alice Mal'asina, did a number on Kryl. Those of you who might remember the story. Yeah, we want to go right over here. General Alden is inside. Hi, will you be joining him? Indeed, we will. So as we go inside, we get the official Guardian theme song. Yeah, and an immortal flame follow me in here. Yeah, as you can see... Yeah, we never saw much of this place, but this is by and large what it looked like. Hey, General. What news? You spoke with Fordola, I take it. We did. Yes, as expected, she didn't say very much, but it wasn't a total waste of time. Arnval noticed something odd about her. He thinks she might be having visions almost constantly, which is not how the Echo normally works. Have you found anything here which might explain why it's so different for her? We've been hard-pressed just to organize research materials, let alone study them. To be frank, I'd welcome the San's expert assistance if you have time to lend a hand. Indeed we do. So yeah, we gotta go and check out two different places. The first is to go over here to speak with this flame investigator. Hello there, madam. So many bodies. Every one of them a victim of these experiments. Yeah, lots of people covered in cloth. Few show any signs of external injury. From what we've been able to determine, they've perished from forcible etheric extraction. Such a miserable way to die. And then over here to the Magitech pod where Kryl was being held. So let's go ahead and have a look at it. By miming on the thing, of course. The device in which Kryl was held seems more ominous now you know its purpose. The surrounding pods are marked Supply Subject, while this one bears the label Master Subject. Yeah, as the Ironworks engineer will explain. The Ironworks received a request from the Alliance to analyze these devices, and have been recording everything of interest. Did you notice the labeling? All the pods are designed to drain the ether of the occupant, save that one right there. Unlike the others, the interior has been fitted with an array of sensors to measure etheric waveforms. To what purpose, however, I couldn't tell you. Right, we're just gonna and deal with it. Also, I think there may be... Okay, no. Yeah, if you did not speak with the other two, there is a joke item over here behind these crates. Yeah, they put a joke item as far as stuff to look for, which is hilarious. I know little and less of science, so any light you could shed on this facility's operations would be much appreciated. Corinne, shall we start with you? Alright. Here's what I know about my experience with the Echo, as well as the information I gleaned. Taken in combination with the testimonies of Kron and Thancred, I do begin to see exactly what the Imperials were attempting here. The enhancement procedure entailed infusing a single candidate with ether siphoned from a multitude of supply subjects. As we get the somber theme going. As for the master subjects in this case, Kryl, the patterns of her etheric activity would provide the model upon which they would artificially engineer the candidate's aura. In other words, they were trying to recreate Kryl's Echo? I believe so, which would explain our prisoner's present state. Kryl is possessed of an unrivaled ability to hear the whispers of the soul, and it seems probable that the procedure engendered the same acute sensitivity in Fordola. The soldiers who guard Fordola, many of them lost friends and family to the Skulls. And there's a sentry at her door night and day. If she can't help sensing their thoughts and seeing their past... Yeah. But you don't just see their past, you live it. All the emotions, all the pain. Imagine what it will do to you. You'd never be the same again. Indeed, as you may recall, Isael was completely transformed by a single glimpse of Wraithvalga's past. Fordola has been forced to experience the agony of those whose lives she destroyed. The guilt must be unbearable. That explains her request to be executed. Sounds to me like a kind of justice. Regardless, she can suffer on for now. We have more pressing matters to consider. If the results of these experiments have been relayed back to Golemon, they'll be not to stop the Empire from repeating the trick. They could give the Echo to anyone. To an entire legion. We must be ready. We must learn all we can of these God-forsaken procedures. And Fordola remains our best source of information. She will not be getting a wish. Not yet. Right. Keep faith, lass. If you're to convince others to follow you, you must believe what you're telling them. People will respond to passion, but not if it's feigned. I understand. Thank you, General. We should leave the flames to it. Let's go. And so we're off. So having now done that, we'll go ahead as... Yeah, it started to rain around here in Ala Mhigo. So as the rain comes down on this somber evening, I go looking for answers about the Echo and end up getting schooled by Raubon. Yet more evidence that I don't know what I'm doing. It's no wonder people listen to him and not me. General Alden is a veteran of countless campaigns, Lise. You cannot compare yourself to a commander of his experience. I know, but I also know that I couldn't have convinced that mob to give up and go home. It makes me realize how much we rely on his authority, and how much I still have to learn. I wonder what he'll do when everything here is settled. I mean, it's his homeland. After going to the trouble of winning it back, might he not want to stay? 'Tis a quandary which countless refugees now face, to continue the life they built in Uldar, or to start again in the land of their birth. Yeah, we're giving it some thought here. Corinne, a moment! Yeah, Pippin is gonna come and say hello to us. Enjoying the rain? I'm newly returned from Uldar with a message from the Sultana. Her Grace desires an audience with you. She understands that you have responsibilities here, but asks that you visit the palace at your earliest convenience. Alright. Well, I must away and attend to other business. Until next time, my friends. Until we meet again. An audience with the Sultana? Depending on the nature of her consultation, this might be the perfect opportunity to inquire about the General's future plans. Yes, we'd all like to know about those, Alphanode, but not everyone's as comfortable interrogating royalty as you. Take no notice of him, Corinne. Alright. So, we'll go ahead and claim another 898 gil. Stand strong and unified! So knowing that the Sultana wants us, so we'll go ahead and meet with her. We'll have to speak with Alphanode for the next level 70 challenge entitled A Sultana's Strings. Alphanode's thoughts appear to have turned from adventure to administration. Well, the question of how to put the Mad King's treasures to good use shows no sign of answering itself. Sure to be about it, Arnvold. I'm at your beck and call. And I should be getting back to my own tasks. I'll organize a squad to head down into the ruins and then start preparing for the big meeting. Oh, send Anima my regards, Corinne. And Oz too, if you please. We shall see you on your return. Hey there, Edgelord Bender. Good to see you this evening. Glad to have you with us. I believe you've asked me before about playing Fire Emblem before. I believe you have asked me about that previously, and I've never played it. If I did play it, it was something I would want to be able to stream, but I don't know if it's something that's available on the Virtual Console. So, having arrived in Ul'dah, we are going to meet a head of state after all, so I believe for Corinne, it is best that she dress in proper attire, which in this case is her Free Company uniform, being the leader of the Tales of Eorzea. So let's make our way over to the Chamber of Rule. And once we are there, we will go ahead and see why the Sultana wants to meet with us. In fact, this is only the second time that I've had the opportunity to have Corinne in this story, in this Let's Play, dressed in her Free Company uniform. Because of course the boys before her were in Grand Company uniforms. Alright, Bartholomew, we've come. You expect, my lady. Please proceed. Thank you. Hello there, Sultana. It's good to see you again.
I thank you for answering my summons in these most interesting times. You have been busy.
We have.
The liberation of Alamigo will have far-reaching consequences, and there is a matter upon which I would seek your counsel.
Oh, really?
I speak of Rauban and his future.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, you've heard, haven't you?
All know the tale of his rise from penniless refugee to member of the Syndicate and General of the Immortal Flames. Yet though he has come to call Ul'dah home, it will never be his homeland. He is a son of Alamigo.
Indeed.
And now that she is free, I thought it only a matter of time before he sought my leave to return to her. Indeed, I had resigned myself to his loss.
Remember the last time she was talking about giving something up? Yeah, bad things happened. Just don't drink the wine, Your Grace.
Suffice it to say, I was greatly surprised to hear him speak so lightly of handing over the reins in Alamigo and retaking his place at my side. I will welcome him with open arms, of course. He is my most trusted advisor and my dearest friend. But I have known the man a long time, and beneath that steely gaze, I spied a flicker of doubt.
Oh, you did? Something only girls can see, right? Yeah, sad face.
Whether Rauban chooses to remain in Uldar or return to Alamigo, I only wish that he do so with a heart unburdened by guilt or regret.
Understandable.
Yet, how can he freely make such a choice, knowing how much I depend on him?
Yeah.
It is past time that I learned to discharge my duties as a sultana alone. I must go forth and see my realm with my own eyes, and hear the wind with my own ears.
Oh, so we're going on a tour? Yeah, Cren's shocked like,
Might
what?
I have your company for a brief adventure?
Yeah, we're gonna be Sultana's bodyguard.
Wonderful. Allow me a moment to change into something a touch less conspicuous, and I will join you outside.
Indeed. Like I said, just don't drink the wine. Alright, so, yeah, we must convene with the Sultana over at the Adventurers Guild. Means running all the way back over here, and going to get the transport over to the Adventurers Guild. So yeah, if you've seen my my intro to Ul'dah for live stream from a year ago, and also if you saw me do the series of quests that followed the completion of the patch 3.3 main story where we saved Estenian from Needhog, then you will know we went on a series of quests, and one of them included meeting with the Sultana dressed like this. So let's go and speak with her. Perchance you remember Lilira, the merchant's daughter? This is the persona I assume when I venture beyond the palace walls to observe my subjects unnoticed. Ordinarily, Papachon would accompany me, but for this particular outing I needed an advisor, not a minder. And that is why I requested your company. Over the course of your many adventures, you have met people from all walks of life in every corner of Eorzea, and I would make use of your worldly experience. Now then, let us be on our way. Our first destination is Stone's Throw, just beyond the gate of Nord. I think I do there, Edgelord. I think you do remember... I think I do remember you mentioning that. So let's just run out past the gate here. And then once we do, we'll go ahead and find the Sultana. Yeah, of course it makes sense for her to make this journey in cover of darkness. Makes perfect sense. And she comes to visit a refugee encampment of Alamegans, of course. Look upon this procession of tattered tents. These refugees camp and squalor at the mercy of the elements and Thalin's predators both. Well, have a good night, Skylar. I love you too. The city's mighty walls offer safety, but the streets overflow with people as it is, and unless blessed by the hand of Nord himself, no refugee could ever hope to afford a dwelling in Uldar. 20 years have passed since the fall of El Amigo, and 5 since the calamity, yet the plight of the poor has grown more desperate, not less. As Sultana, the blame falls upon me. We'll say, you've done your best, Your Grace, or your hands have been tied. Well, your hands have been tied. But yeah, I love you, Skylar. Have a good night. Yes, my authority is limited, and that is an obstacle I must work to overcome. Shall we press on? I would follow the road to the unholy air. Alright. Let's make the quick warp over to the Blackbrush Station. It'll be faster. Oh, you guys are talking about Dishonored now? Alright. I really don't know much about Dishonored. Like, I've heard of the name, but I don't know what it's about. Obviously, I assume it's about someone being dishonored. Or else why would they give it such a title? Also, I don't know what horse this is, but it looks amazing. That's not the Ramu horse, because it would be purple if it was. It may have sparks coming out of it, but it would be purple if it was actually Ramu's horse. Alright, Sultana. It was here, in this wholly unremarkable place, that my father and mother met for their doom. I think she wants text goodbye. I'll go ahead and oblige her. Yeah, sorry to do this little temporary interruption, but I want to tell my beloved how much I love her. So yeah, now we have to go back to this story of tragedy. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interests in Eastern Fanlin when an untimely rockslide crushed their carriage. To this day it is not certain if the incident was simple misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. Rabon once offered to reopen the investigation and bring me the truth he assumed I must crave, but I refused. Even if my parents' deaths were orchestrated by the monetarists, we could have only brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, those who plotted to put me on the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus did I plan to strip the merchants of their power and place our nation in the hands of its citizens, quite unaware of the consequences my actions would have for you and yours. I shudder to think how many goodly souls paid the price of my naivety. Yeah, she's referring to her desire to abdicate at the end of A Realm Reborn. But I am no longer a child reciting words with witless obedience, and I will not be used as a pawn in the monetarist damnable games. Forgive me my outburst. You are one of the few people to whom I feel I can speak my mind. Come, let us return to Ul'dah and visit the Colosseum. Alright. The Colosseum it is. Oh, okay. Got it. Thanks there, Edgelord, for pointing that out. Thanks for the brief synopsis. So now let's get back into Ul'dah, shall we? So we have to make a run over to the Gladiators Guild, which is the Colosseum. Oh, it's Ixion, okay. Yeah, I knew that had become a mount, I just never seen it used by anyone before. See, that was the first. Obviously, you know someone who has that mount already there, Winter. So let's do it with the Sultana. From the moment I became Sultana, I found myself thrust into an endless parade of document signing and ceremonies. For years, I simply signed where I was told to sign and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully oblivious of what any of it meant. Yet one good thing did come from that ignominious chapter in my life, for it was during an official visit to the Colosseum that I first met Rabon. The match I had been invited to attend was not all what I expected. They had pitted the Bull of Ala Mhigo against some dozen or so rival gladiators. Blinkered though I was, I would not stand for so obvious an injustice and demanded to see a fair fight. One man against another, and my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Rabon to die on the sands that day. Lucky you that you found out about it. Regardless, my intervention meant that Rabon had but a single opponent to dispatch, which he duly did, and when he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, he swore that he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confess I dismiss it as a pleasant piece of theatre. But as you know, Rabon is a man of his word. Though it took him another 5 years of fighting on the Blood Sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to buy not only his freedom, but a seat on the syndicates. And then I had my blade. Oh, he does? How come I've never seen him riding it? That's weird. But speaking of weird, it's Echo Time number 2. Where we see Raubahn at his best, fighting in the Colosseum with his full bull helmet on. They came, and they were cut down. Nice block with a shield. He gets disarmed, though, with his shield. And as the Axeman comes in, he gets his legs taken off from underneath him. Puts his visor up. Lets everyone know he's succeeded. Yeah. Look at the confetti raining down! Yeah. Look at the confetti coming down on all these dead and knocked out bodies. Yeah, the people of Ul'dah couldn't be happier!
Your Grace, you mustn't! The danger is too great!
Oh, what's going on?
Your Grace, come back! I beg of you!
Sultana, what are you doing here?
It seems you're the one who needs looking after, Master Shum.
Yeah,
Your Grace.
Hi, Raubahn. Yeah, jumps right into Raubahn's arms.
Promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine. With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Ul'dah. And so, as tradition dictates, Raubahn Aldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last.
I didn't know we were doing a ceremony of eternal bonding at the same time. Why are they playing that music?
Long live the Sultana, and long live Ul'dah!
Yeah, seriously, where's the eternal bonding taking place? So yeah, after we have that experience, let's go ahead and speak with the Sultana to complete this challenge. Words cannot well express what the man means to me. There are others who care deeply for my well-being, of course. Papa Shan's love for me is that of a grandsire for his grandchild. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants of council. Raubahn, with the authority of his syndicate position, was the first sword I could wield. His was the only edge which could cut the strings that bound me. And so, having learned of this interesting story, why don't we go ahead and help ourselves to a bit of determination, courtesy of some stewed river bream. Sounds tasty. Stand strong and unified. Yeah, thus we learn the story of how Raubahn earned his spot on the Syndicate, while apparently, yeah, while there was a bloody gladiator duel going on, a couple was apparently also taking a ceremony of eternal bonding. Yeah, I know, they can be weird there, Edgelord, but thank you so much for joining us. It's been a while since we've seen you, and welcome back. We've missed you. Alright. So now that that story has been told, the Sultana has more to tell us. Let's go ahead and take her next main story quest entitled A Sultana's Duty. Nanamo seems lost in thoughts of the past. We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultan's sworn for long, and there are other places I would visit. Yeah, especially since it's daytime now. To the Arzaneth Ossuary. Oh, the home of the Thaumaturge's Guild, huh? But why ever would your grace go there? Because not only is it the home of the Thaumaturge's Guild, it's essentially a graveyard. But we shall do as the Sultana asks of us. let's make our way inside. Yeah, as a fledgling thaumaturge begins on their journey, we are of course well on our way within the Stormblood story. Sultana?
When the calamity threatened, Raubon led the Alliance forces into battle along the plains of Cartano, and I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that Archon Louis Soir would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I have made a custom of visiting this shrine during each of my little excursions. Here I seek the blessing of Thol, reflect upon my choices, and ask myself if I am fulfilling my duties as Sultana. You are rightly celebrated as a champion because you have led the line in 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. In much the same way, I believe the measure of a monarch lies in how she leads her people in times of adversity. If I am to be a Sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Ul'dah. I have chosen my path, Corinne. With Ala Mhigo now freed from Imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees.
Well, maybe we can help you out.
Already, many displaced Ala Mhigans seek to begin the long trek home. To facilitate that process, I have made a small contribution. An artisan's school in Raugar's Reach for any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such training to yield tangible benefits.
Or they can just play this game and expedite themselves with doing levy quests.
But we do not have years. These people will need shelter and employment if they are to survive. And this time, the Ul'dah Treasury shall provide. Precisely where and how to allocate the necessary funds is of course another question.
What do we say? Might you ask a member of the Syndicate for advice? Why not seek the advice of someone who employs refugees? Or say nothing? Well, maybe we know someone who employs refugees?
A wise suggestion. Mayhap a visit to the Gold Saucer is in order. Its proprietor is a member of the Syndicate and he is one of the few who pay refugees a fair wage. I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Mandeville?
All too well. All too well. Yeah, in fact, we'll be reuniting with his son not a long time from now.
Then I need not explain his eccentric nature. Let us make our way to the landing and I will see that word is sent to the Gold Saucer. Godbert should be only too glad to receive us.
So away she goes. We'll do the same. So yeah, we want to expedite ourselves to the airship landing. And once upon arrival, we will reconvene with the Sultana and depart for the Gold Saucer. Here she is.
I've ridden aboard a public airship before, but this should be my first visit to the Gold Saucer. I must confess to some excitement.
Well, let's not leave you waiting any longer. We are going directly to the Gold Saucer, please. And while we make our way there, I'm going to get myself a quick drink of water here. Thankfully, I do have some nearby. In this fun little bottle that I've got. Yeah, why don't we make our way to the Gold Saucer and see how things are going. Now, of course, knowing how the Gold Saucer operates, we could be stuck there for a while. Thankfully, not so. So yeah, upon arrival, let's go ahead and speak with the Sultana.
I've heard of descriptions of its splendor, yet I never dreamed it would be so bright and inviting.
Yeah, it's like that.
No, I couldn't possibly... We didn't come here to fritter away the royal coin. Godbert will be expecting us. Come, let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations.
Yeah, don't get too lost in excitement there, Sultana. So, to get to where we need to go, we need to make our way over to this Aetheryte, Wonder Square West. Sadly, I'm not attuned to that Aetheryte. Yeah, Corinne has not done the grand tour Yeah, I've shown it off for Edie in a demo quest in A Realm Reborn, but yeah, sadly I've not yet done this for Corinne, so yeah, I've only given her opportunities to go to the most essential Aetherites. Yeah, only ones that she absolutely has to go to whenever she has to make a visit here to the Gold Saucer. Yeah, I've never bothered to attune to them all. That means I gotta do this all manually. Yeah, it's my own fault, but of course I'm only doing what needs to be done in order to progress the story. So, yeah, there's the Sultana.
I believe this is where we're to meet Master Mandeville. Shall we sit while we wait his coming?
So yeah, as we discuss things here in the Gold Saucer, here's Godbert, and shockingly, he's fully clothed. And I don't just mean fully clothed as in he's wearing his suit shirt and a pair of shorts. Like, the guy is actually wearing a full set of clothes. Finally, he dresses appropriately because he knows he's addressing the Sultana. My apologies, Your Grace, I have kept you waiting.
No apologies are necessary, Godbert. My request is sudden, and you were kind to make yourself available at such short notice.
When my son's good friend and the Sultana herself come calling, there is no more important engagement.
As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the Crown might best aid the refugees residing in Thanalin. You are aware, I am sure, that many of Ala Mhigo's displaced sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland, and you are also aware of how they will suffer without shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them that suffering. What advice have you for me on the matter of how it might be best distributed?
The unusual circumstances of our meeting, and your Grace's choice of companion would suggest to me a desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one. My advice to you is stop. Taxing Uldar's wealth to save Ala Mhigan refugees is a terrible, terrible idea. And this coming from a guy who does goldsmithing in his underwear.
You oppose my proposition?
Most emphatically, I agree with your Grace that the refugees must have housing and employment, but what profit is there for Uldar in this arrangement? I'm as shocked to hear those words as you are.
Profit? After all you've done for Gearbonya's displaced, I thought you the very last person to seek to benefit from their misfortune.
Forgive me, your Grace, but you appear to be labouring under a misapprehension. It is a fine endeavour to support one's fellow man. I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not? Uh-oh, sad face. Like, ah. We're getting shut down. For all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, then we begin to rely upon it. To expect it. And then we must consider all our own poor and downtrodden. Should they hear of you spending the nation's coin, not to improve their lots, but to nurture the distant citizens of Ala Mhigo, it is unlikely they will applaud your generosity. Surely is it not your Grace's intention to foster new resentments, but to spread goodwill?
Indeed. Then any support I pledge to the refugees must promote self-sufficiency, while also serving the interests of the people of Uldar.
Exactly so. Such an arrangement will create a far more equitable relationship with the returning Ala Mhigans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects. So what will you do?
You have given me much to ponder, Master Mandeville. I thank you for your candor.
Yeah, maybe we can accomplish something positive out of this. So with that completed, with our conversation with Godbert done, another 825 gil comes our way. Stand strong and unified. So let's go ahead now and speak with the Sultana again once her icon changes. There we go. To take on the next main story quest entitled A Sultana's Resolve. Nanamo appears to be reassessing her plans.
Prophets, the thought never even crossed my mind. But standing about lamenting my naivety will not do anyone any good. I shall consider my lesson learned and press on. Corinne, are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempt at philanthropy is obliged to reap a profit, it would seem wise to consult with someone with a knack for business.
Yeah. Here's who I would recommend to you.
Ordinarily, I would not trust any agent of the East Aldernead Trading Company, but if you hold this Hancock fellow in high esteem, I am content to be led by you. You may repay my faith by journeying to distant Kugane and speaking with him on my behalf. Eager though I am to visit those shores, I have not the leisure for a lengthy sea voyage. Now, assuming you will travel as adventurers are wont to do, I shall await your report by the Aetheryte in Uldar. A fair journey to you, Corinne, and a swift one if you please.
So yeah, now we gotta go and make our journey to the Far East. I don't understand why we couldn't get Hancock to come here, but that's just the nature of the story. And if you think it's weird for us to travel all the way to Kugane for advice, you'll be shocked by what weird thing happens when we speak with Hancock. So once we arrive in Kugane, which I'm pretty sure is jam-packed right now thanks to the launch of the new main story patch and the introduction of housing in this area, and I'm sure a lot of people will be spending time around here. Surprisingly though, the Aetheryte is rather light. So we want to go over to the Ruby Bazaar, the closest Aetheryte to the location of the East Aldernead Trading Company's offices. Let's go on inside and speak with Hancock. We'll go through these doors and see what we can glean. Hey there, Hancock. How have you been? It's been a while.
Corinne, to what do I owe the pleasure? Or are you here on business?
It's the latter there, Hancock.
I beg your pardon. Her Grace the Sultana would have my opinion on how to best invest the wealth of Uldar?
Yeah, I came here all the way from Uldar to ask you this.
My dear Corinne, I have you to thank for this recognition, and I'm sure, and I am flattered that you came to me, truly flattered. But why settle for a lowly apprentice when you could have the master? Upon matters of profit, there is no living soul better qualified to advise Her Grace than Chairman Lolorito.
Oh God, why?
A man whose morning exertions are said to fill his garderobe with gold. I should be happy to arrange a meeting for you, say, at the Scion's former headquarters in Thanlin. The Waking Suns would seem a suitably neutral venue for negotiations, don't you think? Fare you well, Corinne, and may your dealings prove fruitful.
So yeah, we came here all the way to Kugane to get told to go back. Faster than we would have liked. Yeah, isn't that just dumb? Yeah, we're going all the way out there, and after a brief conversation, we're going all the way back. And what the Sultana is gonna hear is not gonna be pretty. Especially given her previous history with dealing with executives in business in Uldar. Sultana, I have bad news.
Welcome back, Corinne. Did your merchant friend have any useful advice to share?
He did, and you're not gonna like it.
With Lolorito? And you agreed to this?
Technically I didn't.
I am well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I'd hoped to keep the Monstrous at arm's length, and him in particular. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I am to rule Uldar effectively. Very well, I will meet with Lolorito. Let us not go on ahead to the Waking Sands and prepare for his coming.
So yeah, this one quest asks you to cover a lot of distance. From Ul'dah to Kogane, back to Ul'dah, now we're going to the Waking Sands for the first time in seemingly forever. And yeah, we don't even have to take the ride there, they just expedite us.
So this is where the Silence first congregated. I've heard many tales but never had occasion to visit. To work then, the hour of the meeting draws near and I will gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have the appointed room to ourselves.
Very well. Yeah, can you believe we're actually going to do this? So there's the man of our disdain.
Personal summons from the Scions. This must be important business indeed. Though, if it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help.
Well, it's not about that. But feel free to sit down. Yeah, right this way, please. And yeah, take a look at what the Sultano is trying to do. Yeah, I can meet you with a mask of my own. Yeah, he seems amused by this.
You have made your point.
Have we?
'Tis indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask.
Even though you wear one. But he's willing to play along. So for the first time ever, we actually get to see the man behind the mask.
Would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira? Hmm?
Yeah, and apparently he sees through the disguise very easily. She can even smile about it.
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I'm glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito. But shall we proceed to the business at hand?
Please.
By all means. I must say I'm most eager to hear your proposal.
Simply put, I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Alamigo. The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate.
We actually did that?
But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Ul'dah and Alamigo both. And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
Ah, 'twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more.
And so we shall discuss this at length. Still sometime later.
To summarize, in return for facilitating the repatriation of refugees and assisting in the establishment of new industry in Alamigo, you ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Ul'dah. Ha! I am impressed, your grace. 'Tis an elegant solution, albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would.
It's what he does. He's a businessman.
Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gir Abania, and you know the land far better than I. Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
So yeah, we're gonna mull over this. And we are given 3 options. Now, I'll point it out here, like, you're probably all thinking, like, if you've seen the live streams of this game from before, you might think that the most obvious answer is Alagana, but it's actually not correct, and neither is Alagiri. Yeah, none of the two actual settlements that still are around and still in use are where we want to put our answer. It goes to the Sultry over in the Locks.
Ah, yes, that desolate little village on the shore of Loch Seld. I know the Sultry and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included. Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient, and in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a modicum of effort into a mountain of gill.
So you're down with this idea?
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course, but I trust the East Aldenar Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well versed in the extraction of this white gold and wring every last ounce of profit from its production.
As you would.
The Loch's bounty will contribute to Alamigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders, just as Your Grace desired.
A deal is struck then.
It would appear that way. So we finally made peace with Lord Lolorito. Well, let's go ahead and speak with the Sultana again to complete this challenge.
I fear it will be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations.
Well, you're off to a good start.
But I shall not complain. We have piqued Lolorito's interest and secured his invaluable expertise. Thank you, Corinne. I could not have done it without you.
So let's go ahead and take the 2,896 skill plus choice of items. The one that really has my attention. As much as I would want the Onigarayaki, I much prefer this persimmon leaf sushi. Stand strong and unified! So, let's move on to our next main story quest, entitled Securing the Sultry. Nanamo is ready to move ahead with her plans.
Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you one more time, Corinne, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hext on your return to Alamigo.
Very well.
My thanks again. Together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the peoples of Alamigo and Uldar both.
So, it's time to leave from here. Yeah, we're just gonna leave the Sultana here in the Waking Sands. I guess she can find her way back to Uldar on her own. So, back over to the Locks. So once we get back over there, there's obviously going to be a lot going on. Go ahead and find Lise standing right over here. Hello again. Forsooth, I've returned.
Corinne, you're back. What did Nanamo... Oh, sorry. Are you allowed to talk about your audience at the Sultana?
Actually, I can. And here's what happened.
So Raubon says he's going to return you to Uldar, but she isn't sure he wants to. Tell us something we don't know, but I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize the Sultry does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Lolorito's help is another question. After all that has happened, he is the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice. But on a more practical note, Lise, assuming the interim government elects to accept Uldar's proposal, I have one caveat I should like you to include in the bargain. Alamigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investments. We have a fortune at our disposal after all, and allowing Uldar to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lolorito too much control. Honestly, Alphanet, it's like Kagane never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? Yeah, we have to think about this. But yes, you do make a good point. First things first though, we need to discuss the proposal with the Sultary's residents. Whiskar, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Walt thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything. Yeah, remember Whiskar here? Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along, Corinne? I need to fill you in on the details. Then I shall come as well. Should Walt wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful. Very well. We'll see you there. So, for the first time in a while, let's go ahead and dress back in combat gear. And head out the door. So let's make our way out as the sun is beginning to set. And Kagura is here. Let's go ahead and give her a hello. I want to know if she's seen our new home yet. While I get our answer, why don't we go ahead and make our way over to Watt. Heading to the west too in order to see what Watt has to say about the proposal that has been offered. Yeah, we do, and you guys will get to see it when this stream is all said and done. Yeah, it's crazy that's already been going on for 2.5 hours. Time has just flown by. You're going up? We are. Here we are. Here's our crew, and here's Whiskar's Uncle Watt. What manner of mischief brings you young'uns to Old Walt this time, eh? They want to rebuild the Sultry, Granddad. Corinne, tell them about the deal. Yeah, I will, but you have to turn around first. Well, bugger me. We've never had the coin or the hand to put the place back to how it was, but it sounds like that's about to change. As we can see by the people carrying sandbags and boxes and crates. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore. The king used to send soldiers to call the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to lock the likes of us. Don't worry, Granddad, we'll take care of all that. Commander Hext has been talking about starting up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to the lock if I asked. I'd appreciate that, Whiskar, my lad. Truly I would. So does this mean you've gotten better with that blade of yours? I've been training but mostly to kill Imperials. You've some experience with hunting monsters, don't you, Corinne? Think you could cast an eye over a few of the local beasties and teach me how to deal with them? Yeah, I can help you out. Let's not waste any time then. I'll see you by the lock. Whilst you are busy attending to the local fauna, I shall have Master Wolf explain to me exactly what it is required to restore the Sultry to its former glory. Good hunting. So we gotta go over the rock in order to speak with Whiskar, who's staying over here. Hey there, big man. Right then, Corinne, I've got a spyglass here you can use to take a look at these pests. Once you've got the measure, you can tell me what to do, and see how well I get home. So yeah, we're going to be having the opportunity to do
interactions again with the spyglass. So we've got to discover the Yabi's weak points. Now, judging at it from a distance, you probably wonder where the heck we're aiming at. But I can actually tell you that if you get up real close and look toward its face, because yeah, this is its face, its jaw comes into view. This is what you want to target. So let's go ahead and let Mr. Whiskar know. The Yabi's entire body is protected by a hard carapace, but the underside of the head looks soft and vulnerable. Oh, looks like you found a Yabi. They say hitting their shells like smacking a rock. Any suggestions? Yeah, you can tell them to aim for the soft side of the head, or just hit it as hard as you can. But we're gonna be smart here and we'll just give him the advice he needs to know. Yeah, roll 1. Vulnerable under the head, are they? Right then, wish me luck. And so now, we get to see Whiskar pit himself against this Yabi. He's going in. And he succeeds. Fanfare! Yeah, there we go. We're off to a good start. Not bad. Thanks, Corinne. I did just as you told me and the Wave King went down like a sack of perpetos. Let's find something else. So now we're gonna check out another enemy to confront. Yeah, sadly it's not another Yabi. This time Whiskar stands over here. I think I can handle the Yabis now, so we should try something different. What else is out there? So yeah, now we're going to look for a Feebad. We're going to try and find its weak points. Now, if you were trying to figure out the Yabi's weak points, and I actually had to be asked about it, I did tell Skyla because she was having trouble figuring it out because the Yabi's weak point is kind of hard to find because it's so huge. The Feebad, though, not so much. In this case, it's rather simple. Hit him in the eye. Yeah, the eye is much easier to find than the jaw on a Yabi, to be sure. The Feebad's hands are large and powerful, but destroying its crystallized core should render the salt golem inanimate. You sense power pulsating from behind its brow. Ugh, a Feebad. How do I defeat one of those? Destroy the core within its brow. Inside its head, is it? I'll try to stab it right between the eyes then. And so, Whiskar against opponent, round 2. He's going in. And he turns the guy into mush. Yeah, he turns the guy into a big mound of salty mush. Oh, how was that? It's not easy, fighting with the Liberator of Alamigo watching your every move, but I got the job done. Thanks for the advice, Corinne. I feel a lot better prepared for my patrols now. And you can also spread the word to your fellow patrollers. Anyway, we should head back to the Salt Tree before Grandad starts to worry. I've been snipped into pieces and fed to a Yabi's hatchlings. So, back over this way. I'll go ahead and notify Watt that his son has a better understanding of how to deal with the local bad guys. Here he is. Hello again, Watt. I see you returned in one piece. Dealt with those beasties then, did you? Fought them myself, after a bit of instruction from Corinne here. Once I've shared what I've learned with the others, we should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad. A fine man you've become, Whiskar. A fine young man indeed. Too often of late I hear tales of folk over in the city drunk on victory and hungry for revenge, their heads stuck firmly in the past. But we need to set our sights on the future, on things which improve our lot. Things like getting the Sultan ready to welcome our long-lost countrymen. Yeah, especially since reconstruction will take you a while. But in any event, we got ourselves 1,954 gil. Stand strong and unified! Now let's go ahead and speak with Alphanode for our next main story challenge, entitled A Blissful Arrival. Alphanode seems satisfied that he and Watt are of one mind. It seems Whiskar has the Sultan's security well in hand. I meanwhile have discussed the next steps with Master Watt and completed my inspection of the site. With a little work, the vacant buildings here could be made into very presentable dwellings. But then the music stops. Message from General Aldin! Apologies for the interruption, miss, but the General would speak with you at your earliest convenience. Yeah. What could be happening? Do not feel obliged to wait around on my account. I will remain here to hammer out the finer details with Watt, and act as an intermediary with our business partners in Uldar. You should go. General Aldin asked that you wait for him by the main gate in the Olmegan Quarter. My apologies again, miss. Fare you well. Thank you very much, sir. So we gotta go over to the Olmegan Quarter now. So once we get to where we need to go, we gotta find out what's going on. So yeah, over here near the gates is where we must go, and in fact our destination is right over here. So as we look upon the night sky, hey there, General. Hey there, Pippin.
Apologies for the wait. People are screaming for the butcher's blood again.
Oh,
no
great.
sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus far.
Yeah, thankfully.
But it is no concern of yours.
I think it is.
We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
Oh, really?
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light. I dare say you remember Yuyuhasi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal.
Oh, great. Yeah, I do. I don't know if you guys do, though.
Aye, well, it would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
Yes, they did.
Were it in your hands, how would you punish these men?
Are you gonna ask me? Yeah, we really think about this? Their lives will be forfeit or execution is not the answer. Well, we're not executing Fordola, so there's no reason to execute these two either, is there?
You would spare these animals? Yours is a more merciful brand of justice than mine. In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard.
And besides, now that Ilberd's dead, it's not like they have to remain loyal to anyone.
Well, that concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna take a trip to the top of the wall.
I bear a share of the blame for Ilbert's atrocities. Had I openly supported the cause of Alamegan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did. Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't.
Yeah, we're all in sad face.
But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever. Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Alamigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness.
I believe so too.
Which means my work here is done. Soon I will return to Uldar and take my place at the Sultana's side.
So you've made your decision?
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay.
Oh, of course.
The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword.
Oh, really?
But I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
Fair enough.
Is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain. Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
I'll do what I can. So now that we're back down off the wall, let's go ahead and speak with the General again. That took longer than I intended, but at least you know where I stand. Now that's settled, Arnvold, what news? We may have a problem, sir. A group of Ananta has arrived at the main gate, and I don't mean the Vira. These are Kolyana, the ones that summoned the Primal. Uh-oh. They are insisting they be allowed to attend the council. Lisa's trying to reason with them, but she may need help. An invitation was extended to all the native beast tribes, but we assumed the Kolyana would refuse it out of hand. We'd best go and see for ourselves, Pippin. Take command of our forces and be ready for battle. Yeah, because if they want to attack, we need to be ready. Corinne, you've dealt with these Kolyana before. I'd have you at my side. Very well. So away they go. And we shall go to join them. So throw open the doors, we're going back outside. Get to our destination, we gotta fly over this way. Not quite where that Kirin is going, but a little further to the north. And we want to actually go right directly to the main gate, which is over here. And should be coming into view soon. Here we go. Yeah, here we are. Here's Lise, and there's the Kolyana. Yeah, what brings you here?
Corinne, Rabon, gods, it's good to see you. Ah, the Slayer has come.
Oh, we're acquainted.
We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss, But we did not come here to shed blood. You came to seek harmony with all who call Kirapanya home. If this is truly a wish, you will welcome us as envoys of the Ananta. It is our wish and you are welcome, but we cannot condone the son and meaning of primals. If you want to enter the palace, that I must first ask you surrender any crystal jewelry. You have my word that will be all returned to you when the meeting is over. We will do as you ask, but you will not have our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors. I reckon that's the closest we're going to get to a compromise, and we will have people standing guard. Aye, let them keep their swords. Then we have an agreement. Lead the way to your meeting chamber. Very well. And so, as they make their way inside, why do I have the feeling we've welcomed a Viper into our midst? Because you literally have. Yeah, you literally have. So 861 gil comes our way, as well as another Orchestron roll. Another version of the measure of his reach. Stand strong and unified. And so, that now leads us with one more quest to do. So, yeah, get ready, because this last one is going to be a long one. Okay, I'm going to go make a run to the washroom and also get some more water before I take us to our final quest. So back in a moment, guys. Okay, I'm back. Right. Let's get ready for this last journey. So, we have now made it to the final quest of the 4.1 main story. Let's go ahead and speak with Raubahn for our final challenge entitled Return of the Bull. Raubahn seems unconvinced by the Kalyana's sincerity.
This Kolyana Zaldo's intentions seem at odds with all we know of our tribe. What think you, Corinne? Yeah, what we say, the Enthal cannot be trusted, or mayhap even the Enthal can learn to compromise? Maybe it's possible? You believe an understanding can be reached. 'Tis not entirely unheard of, I suppose. Those who followed Saint Shiva essentially sought reconciliation with Ishgard. Whatever the truth, I will take no chances. The god must be strengthened, ideally with people who know a thing or two about primals. Can we rely on the Scions? Of course. I'll round up our comrades and send them all to the Alamegan Quarter. You can go on ahead if you like, Corinne. My thanks. I will see you in the palace. And we'll see you in there. It's back inside. So yeah, we don't have to go far for this one. Yeah, thankfully it's just a short walk. So, as we wait, Ishtola and Thancred have arrived. Corinne, I brought reinforcements. Armenvald told me of the arrival of our unexpected guests, and I agreed that it would be prudent to call upon Ishtola and Thancred as well. One can never be too careful with dealing with the enthralled. I am not familiar with the Kolyana tribe myself, but Alice's reports suggested that they shunned contact with other races, despised it in fact, even compared to other Nanananta. Indeed, this apparent reversal in attitude is most curious. No one expected a response to our invitation, much less an envoy, and I imagine Lise was forced to make some rather hasty arrangements in order to accommodate them. Speaking of which, how should we deploy ourselves? If the meeting is to be held in the throne room, it would seem wise to have eyes both inside and outside the palace. Stola and I can stand guard without. That leaves the three of you to keep watch over proceedings of the throne room itself. Very well. Understood. We should join General Aldin inside then. Corinne, do you know the rear entrance to the palace? It's on the eastern edge of the city at the top of the stairs. The guard there should have been instructed to let us pass. And so away they go. And so shall we. Let's go ahead and touch down right here and speak with the guard. You're with the Sans, miss? General Alden left orders that you are to be escorted inside. If you follow me. Yes, we will go on inside. So, on this night in Alamigo, we return to the place of our final battle. And Lisa's here with all the representatives from the various parts of Girabanya. People that we are very familiar with, by and large. As we stand on from a distance.
Thank you all for coming. I am Lise Hext, and I speak for the Resistance. Among you are village elders, refugee leaders, envoys from the Ananta and the Kikern. You've come from every corner of Girabania to help decide the future of Alamigo. But before that, I want to ask you a question.
And what would that be?
What was the first thing you noticed when you came in?
Well, it's kind of hard to not notice the huge purple banner.
For me, it was that empty throne.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard to not notice that either.
It has no one to sit on it now. No viceroy, no king. Would any of you like to take their place?
Yeah, the spot's being offered.
Or should someone else sit there?
But it seems no one wants it. It's a unanimous refusal.
Sit here in a circle, as equals, and I hope, as friends.
Yeah, so we're all sitting down on the floor. For some reason, we didn't have a table for people to speak at.
Expertly done. Lys has removed monarchy as a choice early in the game, and positioned them to consider a joint government. All things considered, I would say events have got off to a fine start.
And that is Alagana's stance on the matter.
Hey there, Ragnfrid. It's been a while.
Another vote in favor. Next, let's hear from Shanti of the Kaliana. Tell us, how do your people feel about the idea of a republic?
Yeah, you wanted to be a part of this. And so she'll stand and make herself known.
The Ananta wish only that those who dwell within Gir Abania devote themselves to our faith.
Uh-oh. You know what she's talking about?
You shall all worship Sri Lakshmi!
Yeah, everyone's confused like, what?
Lady of bliss, grace us once more with your beauteous visage!
Yeah, she doesn't need crystals to summon her. She can just use the nearby reflecting pools. So yeah, the snake charmer has returned. Yeah.
This can't be happening. No crystals were allowed through the door.
Who needs crystals when you have a reflecting pool?
We can worry about the how of it later. We need to evacuate these people right now, or the Primal will make thralls of them all.
It's up to us.
Yeah, it is. Apparently Arnvald has the Echo too. And even though Raban doesn't have it, he's gonna strike down Shanti and put her out of her misery. Which is probably the best thing he could have done. Yeah, and they're off and running. Yeah, screw sticking around. Yeah, you better get going. Uh-oh. Don't worry, we got this. Be on your way, you two. Yeah, bring it. However, she's not alone.
Gods damn it! The guards were already turned!
Ah, man.
Fools!
Yeah. Already possessed, they have to be killed. So now we're surrounded.
No, you don't!
Yeah, back off.
would see us all enthralled.
Your suspicions were
Then
correct.
They're going to be sorely disappointed. We have the Warrior of Light and Arenvald to shield us.
Aye, but they can't well defend your guests and attack the Primal, can they? We're stuck on the back foot.
So what do we do?
Alright, I think I have an idea. Keep these people safe, General. I'll be back as soon as I can.
How are you gonna get through, though? Well, that's one way. Yeah, get to safety.
Whatever she's about, she'd best make it quick.
Yeah.
Come then. Who will be next to die on my steel?
Yeah, we're gonna need you to do your fancy blade work there, General. Because now, we have made it into something that we hoped we wouldn't have to do, and that is to engage in battle. And as you can see from Arnvald's glow, this is a forced battle. So yeah, we gotta deal with Sri Lakshmi, as well as all those turned guards and Kalyana over there. How we fought her without leaving our allies wide open? We can't stand back for forever. No, damn it, if I think like that, we've already lost. I have the Warrior of Light at my side. But we can do this! Isn't that right, Corinne? So now we'll have a special ability called Deflect to dissipate Aether Spheres in battle. But be awarded that allowing an ally to be installed by one Aether Sphere will result in failure. And believe me, I tried this these 3 times with Mathia. This fight is hard. Because the way it starts is something you're not typically accustomed to doing. In this battle, you don't even bother attacking anyone. You pretty much stand there and wait for Lakshmi to do this. That's when you have to use your R3 to deflect the Aether Spheres. Arnvald can help you, but to not much of an extent. He can only pretty much take out one at a time. Your sole responsibility is to not be on offense at any time. You can only be on defense. And any sphere that touches an NPC automatically results in disqualification. Well, it seems like your mindset hasn't changed there, Sri Lakshmi. Not in the slightest. Not only that, there's going to be AoE to deal with. AoE that you should be familiar with, having fought Sri Lakshmi previously. And it will keep coming. So yeah, like I said, Arnvald can only really get one at a time. You're going to have to do the bulk of the work. Because yeah, now it's starting to come in clusters. If you have to check behind yourself, do so. Yeah, one touch and it's over. Gotta run to get this pair. Got that. Yeah, don't worry, Arnvald, I got this one.
You from your hate.
Do it on your own time, Sri Lakshmi. Yeah, now we got a set of 6. They're coming in massive clusters now. Sri Lakshmi came to play, and she is not going to stop. Thankfully, you only have to survive a set amount of time. But we're not done yet.
Damn it all! It's only a matter of time before we miss one.
So what do we do? Yeah, this isn't looking good. And so, she's going for broke. But then... yeah. Surprised to see this? Yeah. She actually got her prison break.
Do you want to kill this thing or not?
Yeah, everyone looking on in shock. We're all in shock. But now we get round 2. But now we can actually attack. Which what we're gonna need to do if we're gonna stand a chance. So let's go ahead and start going for broke. Ooh. Oh, Fordola, why are you coming to me? Yeah, that's a bad idea. So yeah, feel free to come and join me for this stack mech. Yeah, now Sri Lakshmi runs away. Yeah, Balban gonna try and unleash his ultimate move. It wipes out all the bad guys, but now Sri Lakshmi is blocking us. Yeah, what are we gonna do? Because we can't attack her. Yeah, instead, Fordola and Arenvald will use their echo powers to temporarily neutralize Sri Lakshmi, so that everyone that's here, that's a representative of their respective tribes, can make a break for it. And yeah, Raban and Lise want to join in on the fun too. Yeah, you get on out of here, Alphanode. Yes, they forsake eternal bliss, Sri Lakshmi. So now the fight begins for real. The challenge here is to pick and choose your spots, because everyone's gonna run with you. But you still need to make sure that... Oh my god, are you kidding? Okay, that was purely stupid. I have never died to that. I've never died to that before, and I allow myself to have that happen. Alright. Yeah, all the other times I've failed, it's because I allowed an Aether Sphere to slip through the cracks and someone got enthralled. Alright. Arenvald, if you'd be so kind. Thank you. Just waiting on the next set of spheres. Go.
Why, I offer you peace and serenity.
I beg to differ. I greatly beg to differ. Yeah, this time I'll stand back. In fact, I should probably stand here. And then do this. I'll cover this one. I got it. Yeah, trying all we can to deal with these crazy clusters of Aether Spheres. Like, you got that one right. I'm not prepared to fail if you slip through the cracks. Oh boy. Well, thankfully Arenvald covered that one.
I shall free you from your hate!
Yeah. And then... Uber Sphere Run. But I've still got to keep going until they say stop. Which is thankfully now. Okay, round 2. Yeah, I shall try to make sure to not step too hastily this time. Come on, spread out, you two. Alright, let her go do her thing, as my Blood of the Dragon will wear off, so that all these people can be dealt with. So yeah, now we're all gonna scatter. Yeah, how come I don't get to contribute to this in neutralizing? Yeah, I want to be part of it too. Alright. Ready when you are. Yes. Go. At this time, do not be so hasty. Oh, gotta run, gotta run, gotta run. Alright, this time, don't go anywhere. Yes, now we can focus. Yeah, who will be left to stop her? Ouch. So yeah, now we get knocked back, then we get stunned. Just in time for an active time maneuver. Get ready to mash like no one's business! And then it becomes a race. If one touches, you lose. And you have to do this alone. Oh crap! How many did that cover? It hit 4, okay? But yeah, as you can see, it's just a back and forth until we finally have everyone free. And this is the grand finale, Yami? You have to be out of your mind! If we prevail, the best is yet to come!
Your soul's way heavy?
Alright, now we gotta run over here. Yeah, Fordola offers to protect us. Yeah, are you alright? Yeah, this is nothing, she says. I agree. Oh boy. Yeah, take your leave here. I'll stay in the middle and smack Sri Lakshmi a little bit without getting hit by this AoE. Yeah, but 'twould be a pity, Yami, if you leave before the grand finale takes place here. Now, thankfully, she's not going to try and do her fancy gimmicks again. As far as trying to enthrall people. Thankfully, we're past that part. Come on, hit... Come on, hit her! Yeah, hit her! We're wearing it down pretty good so far. Now we gotta go ahead and take cover with Fordola again. It's a shame I can't use my Dragon Gaze on an NPC. I think it would be very helpful. Because I want to. Got her down to a quarter of her health. So now it's a race. We now have to outlast her. Yeah, she's just gonna spam Divine Denial until there's no tomorrow. You know, we're trying as best as we can. Somehow I missed her. But yeah, I can see how little health she's now losing. She's really fortified herself.
Here it comes!
Yeah, gonna try and do something crazy. Lisa's preparing to charge her laser. And with that attack, we've survived. We win the fight. So yeah, for the second time, Sri Lakshmi is vanquished. And since we took care of the Kalyana that brought her around, we won't have to deal with them for a while. Yeah, go back into nothingness. Arnvald, you okay, dude? You've been through a lot.
We did it! We beat her!
Yes, we did. Hey, you. You did it. But now we're gonna have to go to Echo Round 3. So why are we seeing this Echo? How did Fordolo escape her prison? Well, turns out she didn't. Yeah, used with a sword. Yeah, use this.
What is this?
It's a sword.
I'm only gonna say this once. The Ananta just summoned their primal in the throne room. My friends are fighting her, but they need help. They need someone with the Echo, and by the gods, I wish I had it, but I don't.
Yeah, and so you're gonna rely on her.
I told you before that you still had time, but things have changed. I need your answer now.
Yeah, you no longer get infinite time there,
You
Miss
can end it
Fordola.
like Xenos, or you can fight for Alamigo. Your choice.
So she gets up on her feet and agrees to Lisa's terms. Yeah, she could have committed suicide, but she didn't. And because of it, we're still here. Oh, by the way, we're not alone. Everyone came back. But they're not gonna like what they see.
7 hells. It's her, the butcher.
Are they gonna ask for her blood too? Yeah, you have a lot of angry people staring you straight in the face. Anji's gonna go Echo again. Yeah, reliving her years with the skulls. And so, drops the sword where it is.
It's done. Take me back to my cell.
Alright. Willingly going back to jail?
You are not forgiven.
Shouldn't be surprised to hear that.
Not you. You I will never forgive.
I don't think she expects it anyway.
Thank you.
But he does thank her. Yeah, because without her, we wouldn't have survived.
For standing against a primal and saving us from servitude. You have my thanks.
We made her cry. Yeah. Let's send her back to her cell before she shows any more shows of emotion. Wipes way more tears. Well, now that that craziness is over, and everyone somehow decided they wanted to come back for more, please.
Well fought, Corinne. Ironvold. That was a near thing.
Aye, our stand against the Kolyana would have been brief indeed had you not volunteered for guard duty. We'd be enthralled as surely as our sentries were. They must have planned this far in advance.
Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous palms can be. I should have... it's my fault! My stupid mistake!
Nay, lass, we were all caught unawares. We will take this as a lesson and watch our own more carefully in the future. You can be sure that the lackeys who smuggled crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our ranks. The soldier who first spoke up in favor of the Kolyana keeping their weapons springs to mind.
A primal servant is betrayed by Azora. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under Sri Lakshmi's influence. Thanks, Ishtola. We'd appreciate the help.
Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Fordola turned up. What was she even doing there?
I asked her to come.
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain this one to a lot of shocked people.
Well, that explains it then. It's sad, but Ragnfrid was right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done. But I don't think Fordola picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She wanted to fight for her country. If you say the world in which Fordola grew up is partly to blame for what she became, then as an Alamegan, I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happening right now. We have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to help people to let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. And I'll hold 1,000 meetings and talk till I'm blue in the face if that's what it takes. 'Tis a long and arduous path you've chosen, but one well worth walking. Rest assured that I will do what I can to help you reach your destination. Thank you, Alphanode. The first step will be to getting your representatives back in the throne room. They're a little shaken, but not one of them seemed ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started.
I see that you're not interrupted. Corinne, you and the Scions ought to stand down. Get some rest, you've earned it. Thank you there, General. So, later that night... Yeah, as we stay in the Royal Menagerie, I'm accompanied by the General.
A fine spot to contemplate the heavens.
It is, isn't it?
The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government modelled on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people.
Excellent.
It is a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze upon Girabania's stars one last time before I leave.
Yeah, as we look on alongside him. Yeah, let's leave him to be in peace for a while. But as we prepare to leave the Royal Menagerie, yeah, what's the Sultana doing here? Your presence is unexpected. But I can see that you have some business with the General, so you go ahead and take care of that.
Forget something?
Actually, not quite.
Your Grace, there was no word.
Raubon Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
Say what?
But...
Yeah.
Your Grace.
Yeah, he's shocked. And obviously so.
Raubon, I am no longer a child. Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Alamigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
Yeah, with the wine.
I remember full well the consequences of my naivety, and thus did I consult at length with a most trusted advisor ere I embarked upon this course.
A most trusted advisor? And what of me? Am I no longer deserving of your confidence?
Yeah, he feels kicked to the curb right now.
What trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me?
What do you mean?
Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Uldar? For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
You're making the poor girl cry.
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
He did.
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him. I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies.
Yeah.
So follow your heart, please. You are home. You are free.
Make her happy one last time there, General.
No more.
Yeah, in fact, we actually made him cry too. The big man himself actually goes and bursts into tears himself.
Smile for me, Raubon. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
I think so too.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Uldar.
Tomorrow you will serve Alamigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
Yeah. Get back up on your feet there, big guy. Yeah. Your luck, but the stars can now be permanent. You even get a shooting star. Your life begins anew there, General. Because you're no longer a general. At least not for Uldar. Yeah, your adopted son will be taking over the reins. So, the next day, let's go ahead and speak with Lise.
Thanks for shielding us from Lakshmi, you two. If you hadn't been there, the rest of us would be worshipping her by now.
Indeed.
You're kind to include me, Lise. But we both know who did most of the work.
No kidding!
I could scarce keep track of the battle, let alone land a telling blow. No shame in admitting it. The Warrior of Light has put far better men than me in the shade.
Did I mention that I encountered the Sultana in the palace? It would seem Her Grace has come to Girabania to oversee the final stages of her relocation project. She was in search of General Oldin, and I directed her to the rooftop garden. I do hope he was still there.
Well, they spent the night together,
Are you
so...
in the habit of gossiping about the affairs of royalty, Master Leveilleur?
Sultana? Your Grace?
Certainly not, Your Grace. I was merely informing my companions.
Be at ease, Alphino. 'Twas only a jest.
Yeah. So why is she here? Well...
But I must yield the floor to Raubarn. He has an important announcement to make.
Go ahead and tell them all.
As of yesternight, I have been relieved of my post in the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate both.
Yeah, everyone's like, what? Yeah, it took them a moment to realize,
I shall be assuming my father's duties. And may I say that Tizona has never felt heavier upon my back.
That will be the sword he's wielding.
Twould seem I am in need of employment. Mayhap one of my old acquaintances can introduce me to a mercenary company or some such.
Well, you have so much money, you could retire now.
You may be getting on in years, father, but you'd struggle to find a band of sellswords who wouldn't snap your hand off. Your remaining hand.
Ouch. And the Sultana can't help but laugh.
Yes, the bull of Alamigo need not be put out to pasture just yet.
I haven't seen the laugh in 3 years.
A wicked edge to her humor, and you, Pippin, would do well not to laugh when the future may hold the same for you.
So, does this mean you're staying?
Oh yeah.
Aye. That seems to be the way of it. I would be glad to aid you in rebuilding our nation, if you'll have me.
If, he says. Welcome home, Raubarn.
Yeah, come on. Lighten up a little. No need to feel so awkward. Yeah. Will you shake my hand? Yeah, put it there. So the big man has finally come
that
home.
was unexpected. Though you seem distinctly unsurprised.
You talking to me?
Either you are more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch.
You're still young.
In any event, one thing is certain. Alamigo will rejoice at the homecoming of her dearest son.
Indeed they will. So let's go ahead and speak with Lise once again.
I think it's about time I headed back to Rolgar's Reach. What's next for all of you? Alice will be eager to hear of recent defense, so I shall join you if you've no objections. I'd welcome the company. Corinne, why don't you come along to the Reach as well once you've said your farewell to Nanamo and the others?
So yeah, upon completion of this quest, you'll now be able to access the palace's rooftop and go to the Royal Menagerie. So yeah, now you can have that place whenever you want. Just interesting that they would do that for you. Now, we can of course speak to them, but since it's not part of the quest, we will simply go back to Rolgar's Reach to finish this main story quest. And the main story of patch 4.1 as a whole. I'll get myself another drink of water before we call it a night. It's almost midnight now where I live. But quite honestly, I don't feel tired. Like, I still feel completely energized, and I could probably go for another... I don't know, I could probably go until sunrise if I really wanted to. Yeah, if I really wanted to, I could probably go until sunrise, but I have work tomorrow, like any other regular person would have. Alright, Lise, this journey ends with you, here for patch 4.1's main story. And thus we've all returned.
Well, here we are again. Arthur Node has regaled me with a thrilling tale of hidden treasure troves, meeting betrayals, unlikely alliances, and joyous homecomings. It would seem I missed everything. While I was patrolling the palace grounds on Thancred and Nashola when we heard the reports of a primal in the throne room, I honestly doubted my own ears. As others have said, we were lucky to have our Echo-blessed champions nearby this time, but we'll need to keep a closer eye on the Kalyana. You can say that again. This whole episode is reminding me just how far kind our parts our kinds still are. It looks like centuries of fear and mistrust really can't be washed away in a day, but someone has to make an effort at reconciliation if these conflicts are ever going to end. Naturally, a lot of people are crying out for vengeance, but I've been doing my best to calm things down. Violent reprisals will only lead to more summonings. Indeed, violence will ever beget violence, as the Empire has learned to its cost in recent times. In any case, summoning Lakshmi was the Brood Mother's doing, and whoever replaces her might not be so keen on the idea. We'll just have to watch and wait. Which isn't to say we won't be putting the safety of our allies in the Vera and the M tribes first. I plan to have resistance scouts keep track of the Kalyana's movements at all times. My parents will be relieved to hear that. What are your plans for the rest of the resistance army out of interest? Are we to prepare for Imperial counterattacks? That would be a question for the Resistance's newest recruits, a military commander with far more experience than me. What, the Ball of Alamigo?
Indeed.
We call it an army, but the Resistance is really a collection of smaller independent groups. And when Conrad passed his command on to me, that authority only extended to freedom fighters based in Rolgar's Reach. He just happened to be serving as Resistance spokesman at the time, and needed someone to take over the role while everything was in disarray. But that time has passed. When I speak with the other leaders about reforming the army under the new government, I'll be nominating Raubon as the overall commander of our forces. He has more experience than the rest of us put together, and we stand to learn a lot from him. Indeed, he is in all respects the ideal choice. Assuming he accepts the post, Alamigo will have added a formidable weapon to its arsenal. And given the progress of Nanamozu's settlement initiative, I see great cause for hope. The seeds which we so carefully sowed have begun to quicken, my friends. I like that. We tend to our promises and watch as Alamigo blooms.
And we'll be with you all the way there, Lise. So, by our virtue of our victory, we got 3,481 gil, plus the dress-up Raubon minion, detachable alarm optional. Stand strong and unified! And with that, the patch 4.1 main story quest is over. But not before we check out some other things that have been going on in the realm. What other things, you might ask? Well, over in Kugane... Yeah, Gosetsu is still around. I do give thanks to the Komi that my makeshift raft withstood the fury of the seas. Yeah, you're back on dry land. But there the generosity ended. Without coins in our pockets for new attire, We are doomed to look like so much jetsam. Oh, woe betide the poor man in a city of rich merchants. And then... yeah, you're being given a gift by Yotsuyu. Like, what?
These dango are delicious. Will you have one?
Yeah, she got one just for you. Shocking, isn't it? I guess she needs the hat to keep her identity covered and hidden.
More sweetbreads! I surrender my blade to secure what few coins we have!
It's like, you don't want it? Gotta eat there, man. Like, okay, fine, I'll do it.
Oh, 'tis like talking to a child.
Why fate saddled me with this burden I shall never know, but I am alive, and I must return to my master's side. Looks like you have a headache, though. It's not echo-based. Konsuyo, we shall find a ship to carry us across the Ruby Sea. Can you pay the Ruby tithe? Like, what purpose does she serve by being with Gosetsu? Like, obviously she's stripped of power and there's not much more she can do, but still. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace, back in Garlemald. This is what took so long for me to get back on the air. What are you guys talking about? Have you read the reports? First Stoma, then Alamigo, and Lozino's put to the sword. So yeah, word travels fast. Do not believe everything you read. I hear the Viceroy was merely wounded and that he has already returned to the capital. Naturally, the savages beat their chests and boast loudly of taking his head regardless. Really? Nay, Lord Zenos lives. Deplorable that our own officers should be fooled by Eorzean misinformation. Fake news, right? We're getting rid of the fake news. Small wonder the provinces has begun rising up in rebellion. We must prepare an official and above all accurate announcement to quell these pernicious rumors. They would wage war with empty words. Let them produce the Viceroy's remains then. We shall soon put the light to their claims. Yeah, we are getting rid of the fake news. However, someone is listening from a distance and doesn't like what they hear for one reason or another. But who are you, mysterious stranger? Maybe we'll know in a future patch. But there we go. As evening has arrived on Ralgar's Reach, we are now officially done with this. So, before we officially call it a night, I did promise you guys I would show you our brand new house. Yeah, thanks to the introduction of patch 4.1, a new housing establishment has been created over in Kugane known as Shirogane, which I've shown previously in Let's Play content. And so, it was not officially opened for people coming in until patch 4.1 launched. And since that was the day, people have been going in mass exodus in order to establish a new home for themselves, including us. So, let me take you to our brand new home in Shirogane. Even as my throat burns, but I must forge on to reach the conclusion of tonight's stream. Well, hopefully you've gotten the help that you need there, Winter. So, welcome to our new home. As you can see, our new home is located on a very cool beachside area. Yeah, this place is basically like the Far East version of Myst. In fact, some of our FC members said that they like Myst, so hopefully the fact that we're in a place like Shirogane, which is like a Far Eastern version of Myst, will be something that they can appreciate. But yeah, this is where our new house is, and as you can see, we've already got a lot of our stuff laid down. Got all of our cherry blossoms set down and our cherry trees, as would be, of course, put in place for the fact that we are now in the Far East. So now they make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, Skylar went to bed about 2 hours ago there, Yami. So yeah, we got our striking dummy, we've got a garden if we ever want to use it. Here's our Leviathan fountain. We don't have our egg tower though. We don't have our special hatching tide egg tower. I'm gonna need to make sure that that gets put somewhere. Yeah, let's go on inside. So yeah, once we go inside, Scott has already taken the liberty of setting everything up. So we got our vendors over here, as well as our bells, our triple triad. And if you had chambers in your previous estate, and your estate was relocated, whether it was to Shirogane or any of the Eorzean housing districts, your chambers, you don't have to buy them again. They'll already be there for you, and it will be exactly as you remember them when you left, which is awesome. So we've got our own little library here that we can use, that people can enjoy from, as well as some places for people to sit down and enjoy themselves. Then upstairs, we do have to put more stuff up here, but we do have our fish tank, complete with all the fish that we had from before. And all of our crafting stations have been placed up here too. I have to admit, I don't know what music this is. I guess I'll find out once we're done. And so downstairs, yeah, we've kind of got things separated here into our room content. So yeah, basically our fireplace area, the same as it was by and large. We also moved our hot tub over here as well, and all of our portraits are down here too. And then we have our little stage where we can do dancing and playing musical instruments and really enjoy ourselves. So I think Scala is off to a good start with setting everything up for how everything is in our new home. And as you'll also notice, we did not have to change any of the fixtures either. Just like with the fact that all of the chambers are retained exactly as they were, so are all the wallpaper and all the flooring. That's also all retained as is. So what song is this we're listening to? Background story. So obviously this must be a new orchestron role, but I've never heard it before. I guess I should also add this one to my rank, my orchestron, as well as throwing the dress up Gralbon minion into play. In fact, why don't we even summon him now? Would be a good idea to do that. Where is the general? Be a little harder than I thought to find. Oh, here he is. Dress up Rabon. Ostensibly produced to commemorate Alamigo's liberation, this avatar of the Flame General was originally meant to serve as an apology for the campaign's troubled start. To that end, it was said to have been programmed to beg forgiveness a dozen different ways. But why would he do that? I have no idea. So yeah, here's what the Bull of Alamigo looks like. Even comes with his helmet on, and of course he is minus his one arm. But yeah, flex those muscles there, General. can't tell if you have your sword with you, but it's not like we necessarily need it to be used. But yeah, why don't we go ahead and change the song? Because yeah, we have the two versions. But yeah, it doesn't specify which version we have. Which one is this? That's the Guardian version. We'll take this one. And that's why you know I say that line at the end of every quest now. Because it's part of this song that brought Ala back into being a proper country and not just part of the Guardian Empire. So it makes the most perfect sense in the world to actually sing that line at the end of every quest from this point forward. Hope you guys can tolerate my singing voice because I will be using it every time we do a quest from now until the end of Stormblood and the next expansion comes out. But, yeah, we've been going for nearly 4 hours here, and I want to thank you guys for staying with me for the entire duration. You guys have been a wonderful audience. You guys have clearly enjoyed the story that happened here tonight, and don't forget, we still have the 24 main raid to cover. Inspector Hildebrand is now in Stormblood, so we have to go check out his adventures as well. So, we're not done with patch 4.1 content yet. And more is to come as we continue on in this game. So, as the people of Ala sing their anthem proudly, I'd like to thank everyone for watching this edition of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood Live. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys next time with more 4.1 content. So, until next time everyone, this is Matthew at Novaura Autism saying take care, and I'll see you soon.